What you think, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now.
Okay.
And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me.
Right.
I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, this complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told them, don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father like that? Is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time, they are absolutely. So if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
You see, what I understand with my father.
Men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes the black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was a run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not going to walk away when things get hard. That's providing, right? I'm going to provide emotional protection so that you can, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, so there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, the men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband. And stuff like that.
Alrighty, another day, another dollar. Speak on it. Podcast 2K25, another blessing. Re-rolling this thing, doing this thing. And so another episode. Fall is in the air. This year is winding down quick. Holidays next week. You know what I'm saying? Time is just not what it used to be. So when they say time flying, time is definitely flying. And there are troubling times, changing times. So get your life together, man. Or at the end of the day, just get your life together. Time waits for no one. Got to get in here and do what you do before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Bastrop, Louisiana. Fallen soldier. Shout out to the Relaford family. We got the news about our brother, Captain Relaford, Chris Relaford, over the weekend. Last of the dying breed. Nobody's perfect, but he was good in the areas that he was meant to be good in. So shout out to Chris Relaford, man. And, you know, we go way back. He was one of the ones that when I needed security, him and Bo Trotter would do my security. And Smith, Deputy Smith, they would do, and shout out to Kiki Lynch, they would always team up and come out and do my security. So Relaford and I had a relationship like that. And if an incident occurred in the city or something and my name came up, he would let me know what was going down. And, you know, so I haven't gotten all the details in his departure from the world, but he was a pretty decent man. Like I say, nobody's perfect, but in the areas in which he was good, he was the best at it. So shout out to Strop City, Bastrop, and the Relaford family, police department, and all of that. Yeah, my prayers are with you. And one of the last times, not the last time, but one of the last times I was in Bastrop, he was at the Beauty Mart, and he and I talked for a while. He had made an appearance on the podcast one time before for a brief second. So I think we were talking about relationships or something, but yeah, he was definitely a good person. So I can't say enough as far as, you know, his character, but in the areas in which he needed to show a stellar performance, he was good. So shout out to Chris Relaford, Bastrop Police Department, Captain Relaford, last of the dying breed. Alrighty, and what else? So we're gonna tackle a couple of topics tonight. I'm gonna dive into it though, because it's just too much going on right now. I don't know if we want to say we're losing the teams or, you know, are they lost? Whose fault is it? Because we touched a little bit on it when we were speaking on the church, us not letting the kids be involved in church like our parents had us involved in the church. So, yeah, we touched up on that last week. And so this kind of extended from that. We're trying to figure out why are the teams the way they are. You know, why is that? You know, is it parents? And when I say discipline, I'm gonna break it down when I get into it. We're gonna break it down when we get into it. Because people have different views on the discipline thing. And me personally, I feel like there's a way to discipline, so I see it totally different than a lot of people. You know, I grew up in a sturdy, straightforward type household, and I learned to be accountable for my actions. So I'm gonna upload some clips. I'm gonna play a few clips also. But yeah. So Speak on It podcast 2K25. I'm about to dive off in it. Okay, let's see. All right, and okay, I spoke on this on one of the other episodes, and I said that she should have been in some type of violation. So that DoorDash girl that we spoke on, who went to the house to drop off some food, was given instructions to leave the food at the door and leave, decided she wanted to video the guy and post it on her TikTok or whatever. And she claimed that she was sexually assaulted. SA. So I was always saying from the jump, I was like, she violated him, and come to find out, that's exactly what happened. She's been arrested because she didn't have no business, filming him without his permission. So I'm in agreement with that, you know. So everything's, you got to be careful when you call yourself going viral these days. You got to be careful. Now she's gonna hate a million times that she even done that because it's a serious offense, and they got like 2, 3 charges on her. So she'll learn. Okay, and let's see here. Now, let's see. Let's get into the topic. And I guess my people will chime in later. But let's get into the topic. Let's see. The children are getting out of control, I think, to a degree. To a degree. And my brother was trying to explain to me that children of today aren't like children of yesterday. They're not the same. And he said we can't raise them the same. Okay. And he and his kids don't have the greatest relationship because he used old school discipline on them that his father did to him. And it didn't work. He said that it's not the same, and he was like, don't discipline my kids the way our parents disciplined us. And so that was kind of like his experience with it. But I also think his dad disciplined different than how I was disciplined. And so I do it totally different. It's not as harsh as they did it back in the day, I guess. But we had to get, belts, switches, and things like that. We still did that. And these days, when the parent whip a child because of the new laws, you don't supposed to whip them, and then We have people saying, oh, well, that caused trauma. You know, even though we had corporal punishment for years in the schools. You know, so the trauma thing that a lot of us saying, I don't really agree with that. You know, oh, he was traumatized, you know. So I don't believe in that. So it's like, do you let the kids continue to get away with being disrespectful? Why are the kids so disrespectful today? You know, why is that? You know, that's what that's what we want to know. And what is the solution? You know, are there resolutions to it? Are we parenting too soft? You know, what are the parents of today? What are we doing wrong? Is what I want to know. Because they're disrespectful. They're unaliving each other at an alarming rate. You know, what are we doing wrong? According to the Met Police figures, 7,512 children between the age of 10 and 14 were suspected of violent crimes, including knife offenses in 2023 and a rise of 38% from 2020. So it's on the rise. It's on the rise. And I get it. I understand. Guns weren't that accessible when we were growing up. Okay. I get it. Wasn't that accessible. Okay. So guns on the street, they were still on the street, just like we had drugs. They were on the street, but we weren't participating in as many drugs at the age of 12 to 14 than what the kids are doing now. And I just feel like somewhere somebody fumbled the ball. Somebody dropped the ball. And like I was saying on last week's podcast when we were talking about religion and why the kids aren't well, we were more like if the youth went to church more, maybe it'll be less violence and less youth crimes if they had a church home or if they were involved in church. But in the world we're in now, we don't want to force our kids to do anything because children actually have an opinion, where a lot of times when we were growing up, you didn't have an opinion. My household did, to a degree. The things that they didn't want us to do, it was no negotiating, but they did explain and give us a voice. They would listen to our reasoning why we were against whatever the new rule was or the rule was in the house. But today, I think sometimes we give them a little bit too much freedom of expression, and that's when it becomes disrespectful. You could count the number of kids that were disrespectful to their parents back in the day, and it was a shock to see it, because we weren't raised like that. My household and the people that we were around, my cousins, all of us were taught respect. And I guess upper middle class, raise their kids slightly different, maybe. And I don't know if it's a class thing, but we had more respect. We were taught respect. Then if you grew up with Big Mama, we had Big Mama. And with Big Mama came church and respect. So we didn't talk back. We didn't curse in front of our parents or Big Mama and them. Those are things we just didn't do. Out of fear, out of respect. So when I see and hear children, and when I say a child, I'm saying even 30 years old, cursing their mother or father out, 40, 50, whatever, how old, cursing your mother and father out. To me, that's one of the lowest disrespects ever. Actually, the highest disrespect ever. And it makes you low as a person to do that. Someone, especially if they were in your lives, mom and dad that was in your lives, that made sacrifices, the mother who carried you in the womb as an incubator for 9 or more months, I'm gonna say 7 to 9 months to birth you in this world, to sacrifice to make sure you ate, had as they say, a roof over your head, you know what I'm saying? And for you to grow up and talk to them crazy, curse them out, jump on them. I just don't have respect for that person. And even when I started dating, I was told, when I started seriously dating, an old guy, and I used to hang around these old men, and like I said, they messed my head up. I've said that plenty of times on this podcast. But I did draw some good things from that. And he said if a woman, and this, I'll also go for the men, ladies. If a woman will curse her mama out, imagine what she'll do to you. And so I was like, I hear it, But he said, if a woman would curse her mother out, what do you think she'll do to you? And I was like, wow. And so I was calling myself dating one. And I walked in around Thanksgiving and I overheard her cursing her mama out. And immediately, it didn't work. We didn't make it. But it was an experience that I did, that I experienced. So yeah, she ended up being a cold piece of work, because she wasn't gonna talk to me crazy. I don't allow that. You ain't gonna talk to me crazy. But yeah, so you gotta watch if someone's disrespectful to their parents. You gotta watch how they'll treat you. We got AJ in the building. What's that, and AJ? What it is?
What's up? What's up?
You got
How
it.
you
You
doing?
got it. Another day, another blessing. You know how we do it.
Everything is everything.
Everything is everything. And look, everything is everything. That was this older guy used to say.
Yes, sir.
So everything is everything. But so how you been feeling today? You okay today?
I'm here. Can't complain, won't complain.
There you go. There you go.
It's
There's many of them
scheduled to rain, but just know that. But I'm here.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's always a blessing when you're on this side of the
How
dirt.
are you?
Okay.
I know, right?
When
I ain't
you're on
wake
this
up
side
dead.
of the dirt, that's what they say.
Oh, that's right.
Let's see. But yeah, we looking at all this crime, man. What's going on with our youth. Did we as parents, a lot of us, when I say we, I'm speaking not us in particular, but maybe our peers, you know, our
Yeah.
classmates.
Hey,
Um,
you know what? I'll take some accountability if we want to lump us in all, because we are the parents of this generation
yeah,
of
yeah,
kids.
yeah. And
You
you saw
know?
how when you guys said that, and it was kind of brought, I got kind of quiet because it is us. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it brought me to, like I was saying, our generation is supposed to be the mentors of today that we had yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
we're not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
we're not. Mm-hmm.
We're not. And a lot of that came to my attention while on this podcast. See, things like that. I use this for therapy. We get on here, we talk, we take a break through our week, and we sit and and we vent,
Yeah.
and then we go back off. Because I didn't really see it like that. And then it was really brought full circle. And I was like, that's not us. But at the same time,
It is something for us.
today's children, though, aren't like we were. And then we
So they
also
know.
had the village. People gave, when someone disciplined you or got on you when we were growing up, it wasn't out of spite because they didn't like your parent. It was you was
Right.
actually out there doing some shit. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Nowadays,
Right.
it could be vindictive because your daughter hair is done and she dressed better than the neighbor's daughter.
And see,
And we
I
don't
never
know what they
understood
talk
that, but
about.
kids ain't had nothing to do with grown-ups. See, kids
Right.
ain't had nothing to do with what grown-ups. The grown-ups could be beefing like a motherfucker. Us kids would
Hmm.
have never known.
Yep. But now
You know.
the world is, if you get mad at me now, I ain't done nothing. I still had given your kids food. I helped them with money to buy different things for school. You and I fall out, now they hate my guts. That ain't how it
Right.
was. They'll be trying to piece it back in the day. We used to try to piece them back together. You know,
Right.
what
Right.
happened? You're not gonna go over there. We'll lie like they called and make them call each other.
I
Different
miss
stuff
them.
like that.
I miss them. Miss her kid. I miss her kids.
Right. And we try to get everything back together, but now everybody takes sides. It's just not the same, AJ, and it just seemed like it's getting worse. And I know the guns weren't in the community like it is now, but what make these kids feel like it's okay? And I understand that they're getting bullied, and bullying. We
Right.
had bullies back then, but it wasn't everybody. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't. You knew the 2 or 3 people that were bullies. You knew the female or 2 that was at the school that was a bully. You knew 1 or 2 of the guys, and you just knew to stay away from them if you didn't want that, that drama. But now it's
Right.
so many, and they pick on the weak. See, the kids are more weaker from what I'm seeing now, as far as feelings. They're more quicker to
Everybody's so
unalive themselves.
emotional.
Yeah, they're very emotional now. We had to just get out there and get it. And I remember this guy in our neighborhood, he had jumped on like 2 people and beat them up, in the neighborhood. And I guess it was time for me to, for him to mess with me. And so I was outside playing, and my neighbor, which was my best friend, he had already jumped on my neighbor, which was my best friend. So another week or 2 had passed by. And so now he down there on my end of the street again, and he wanted to jump on me. He figured he'll fight me because I was hanging with the other guy, my friend. And I went back in the house because he had already beat up 2 or 3 guys in the hood. And so I could fight, but he had beat everybody else up. So I was mentally psyched out. So I ran back in the house. I came in the house, and I just went outside. I wasn't even outside 10 minutes. And I went back in the house, and my dad said, "What's wrong?" And I told him he was that the guy was out there. And he said, "What, you scared of him?" And you can't be scared in front of your dad. So I said, "No, I ain't scared of him." So he said, "Well, get back out there." and so I went back out there. And the guy was standing in front of the house, in front of the street. I think he had a cousin with him, and they was talking stuff, waiting on me to come outside. And so I came on outside, and they started talking, and then they got on we had a hill that went into the yard. So they got on the little hill part that go down before you get in the yard, and they was throwing rocks and all that stuff. So I was like, man, I got to fight. So the guy and I squared up, and we started swinging and stuff. And he had hit me in my throat, and I grabbed my throat. I was holding my throat, and then I looked back and I saw my dad looking out the window. Man, when I tell you I couldn't lose, I turned the Junkyard Dog. I started punching and jumped just like Junkyard Dog was doing. I ended up beating the guy. Well, we kind of tied, but he didn't dog me out. He didn't want to fight me no more. But it was that way, and then the guy and I ended up weeks later being friends, and everything. Now they don't square up and fight. If that happens today,
no, ain't no fighting. Everybody got to pull that iron out.
They're getting that iron. They're getting that out, and we losing these teens and young adults at an alarming rate, and they're doing crazy things, killing the parents. It's just, it's crazy. We have Kurt in the building. What's up, Kurt?
How y'all doing? What's the topic tonight, fellas? How's everybody doing on the panel?
We talking about what's going on with these teens and young adults, their behavior, and why is the behavior the way it is? Does the lack of discipline play a major part in the behaviors of the teens and the young adults today? Is it lack of discipline? I think the parents aren't disciplining the kids. They're not disciplining them. The parents, when I say the parents, I'm mostly talking about Gen Z. Gen Z, Gen Y. We aren't disciplining the kids the way our parents, the baby boomers and the silent generation.
So Gen Z was born in the 70s.
Gen Z, yes, 70s and the 80s. Gen Y. So
the 80s Gen Y.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so
we are the parents of these youngins.
We're the parents.
Oh, the grandparents. Shit. Are we the grandparents?
Yeah, it's grandparents now. But yeah. The baby boomers and the silent generation, which was Big Mama and them, they believed in discipline.
Man, they used to knock your teeth down. Not your teeth. Teeth down your
right.
throat.
And then knock you into the middle of next week,
But it's not just
to next week.
From my perspective, it's not just one thing. There's just a multitude of things.
Yeah,
it's a multitude.
Mm-hmm.
Because
every generation will have that. Just like, when our generation, we was faced with stuff that our parents weren't faced with. And for our parents' generation, they were faced with stuff that their parents weren't faced with. It's going to be like that. But how do we, where is that adaptation?
But there was more of a control factor because of the mentality that was taught.
I got you.
We've moved so far away from how things used to be to this new culture, and basically society and the internet and these immediate reactionary type cults. That's what grabs your kids' attention.
So how do we adapt though, Kurt? Because it's not going to change.
Well, you can only touch as many people as you can. When you see anybody in your family, you have to honor that, and you have to support that, and you have to implement. Hey, you need to talk to your cousin. Matter of fact, I was talking to my son last night, the one in Arkansas, and he was telling me about what's going on with his 15-year-old son, how good his grades are. He just came back from you know how they had those bands, they had those band
Competition.
those competitions. He just came
Yeah.
back from Indianapolis, and I spoke to him for a minute about the experience, how much fun he has, and you know how competitive it was, and and he said, "Papa, I've been on my grades too, straight A's."
It's lying.
And then he was talking about his little cousin, you know, which is my son's sister-in-law, his wife's sister, has a boy the same age. He talking about how cool he is and all the girls he got. You know what I'm saying? So there's different households are doing different things. For Courtney to see the importance of education, because education played a role in his life, he's trying to make sure that education play a role in his kids' life. And
Right.
because of all the time that I was not able to spend when I was raising them, he know the importance of being there, being in the moment, being present with his boys. Right now he's unemployed, and he's talking about even if he go back, he wanted to be remote, and he's willing to travel only 20% so that he can be involved in his kids' life. Because
I think
whatever you
we
put
got
in,
so caught up in earning that paycheck that we forget to go to the programs. We don't get to go, and they just smell roses with our kids.
yes, we don't get to find out
We're
what's
so
going
busy
on, and
picking off a list.
because a lot of us are what we caught up swiping ourselves, man.
Yeah, that's just
We got devices that track. So think about this. Just think about this for a minute. You got a device that tracks how much you use it, and it tells you you've been on 8 hours a day this week.
and when the phone recommend you think you need a break from the internet, maybe you need a break from the internet.
It's telling you that. The fact that it's telling you that let you know how problematic this is.
Okay. Now that still go back to and what AJ was saying too. With everything being newly introduced, is not what the parents had, is not what Big Mama them had. It's something new. It's not what we had.
It's a babysitter.
No, it's always something new being introduced. And so her question was, how do we do that? How do what's the resolution? My thing is, it falls back on parenting and discipline.
Absolutely.
Because we were taught growing up, and like y'all always say, it's nothing new under the sun. Because what's her name? Anthony loves saying it's nothing new under the sun. So when we say that, that means the new things that were introduced, our parents made sure that we didn't bring that shit up in there.
Absolutely.
I used to always hear, I don't care what such and such doing over there across the street.
Oh, I wanted to beep it so bad.
You not bringing it up in here.
Absolutely.
So that's and like monitoring the amount of time on them tablets and social media and things. That's a parent thing.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
With my son with that tablet, when it's about time for him to go to bed, unask that tablet. He gets X amount of outside time. He's not going to be stuck in the house playing Fortnite and on that tablet with Discord or whatever he's doing. He's not going to do that. And at any given time, we grab the tablet and look and see what they're on.
I'm sorry, y'all. What's Discord?
That's a social app where the kids.
Is it like Snapchat?
It's similar to that, but it's for the kids. They have a whole
Snapchat was supposed to be.
But it's more destructive than It's much more destructive. There's a lot of
Right.
dark
It's
shit.
more for. It's supposed to be for like adults, but the teens are on it now,
A
and
lot of dark shit go on
predators,
Discord.
yeah, gets to your child through the Discord. So at any given time, we grab the daughter's computer. Like I said, I'm able to log on my laptop and see everything she's doing, and the wife can log onto her iPad and see everything the daughter's doing.
Oh, I'll tell
And
you
like
another little
Anthony say,
secret. I'll tell you
but that
another little secret you could use too. So if you go to your Wi-Fi settings, you can see how many devices are connected.
mm-hmm.
You can enable or disable any one of them devices at any time.
Okay.
They find a way around that. I know my
You
kids
think?
do. Man, they'll
Not
get
if
the
not
neighbor's
not
friend
not if I
Wi-Fi, the parents, people next door Wi-Fi password on you, and you don't need no it.
well not if I disable. I can see what
You need a
I can
scrambler
see
with
what
these
devices
kids.
are connected in this household.
But if they on the neighbor's Wi-Fi, let's say you cut them off. They say, okay, I'm gonna cut you off from the box, from my phone, and I'm
Right.
gonna pause you. They ain't gonna do nothing but go in there, put in their friend next door, and be on there. And then if it's Xfinity or something like that,
Yeah, they
they ain't
sneaking
even
now,
gotta
Kurt. I
even
see what
have
you're
that.
saying.
They can stream it off the Xfinity
I
with
get
no
I get
password.
I get what you're saying, but
They sneaking.
like
You
for
gotta
me,
think they sneakier.
yeah. But then it don't stop just at that. I was
No,
just saying that's a
I was
quick
saying
technique.
maybe a scrambler. You know, like in the movies, they said when they turn the scrambler on, can't no Wi-Fi signal, nothing go through.
No, yeah, like they have at the schools. My daughter's school has that. As soon as we put on her lot, our Wi-Fi go out.
But you could just say like for them, there's no video games or no internet throughout the week. Period. That's the deal for them. On the weekends, they're able to play. That matter of fact, they're able to stay up late and play. If they don't have nothing going on that Saturday, let them stay up to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock and play. When Courtney was coming up, he absolutely was addicted to games. He was so addicted to games, I thought he wasn't gonna be shit. I really used to say, boy, you ain't gonna be shit. He was. I can't even tell y'all. He would sneak and find the sticks, man. You know, I hide them from. I go to work, I go to the mill. I hide the sticks from him. I sneak in the house because he don't know what time I'm coming, and I peep in, and I can see that. All I can see is the light and him clicking, just playing, you know. And he just loved playing video games. But he did do something with his life because he always made good grades. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I thought he was gonna write games, but he's already looking into his boy's future. He already kind of got an idea that the oldest one wants to be an architect.
I wonder though, is he on them about their game uses because he know how it affected him so hard, how he was so addicted.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. That's why. But he
But
know
you
it
got to
can
keep
be
them busy. If
he
you're gonna
know
take away the
he know it'll
babysitter,
be
like you say, you
he
got to
know
be
it'll be
able
a
to. You got to
he know
be
it'll be a
filling
distraction.
in them gaps.
He know it'll be a distraction because they do have a very very structured. You know, they got piano lessons, they got swimming lessons. The other one got drum lessons. Then they got soccer practice and they got basketball practice. So they don't, and then they have the games itself. And then now Caleb is 15. He's in the marching band and he's in the concert band. So he don't have a whole lot of time to be given 2 hours or hour to video games. Their life is very, very structured. And
Yeah, that's
so
what my folks had me growing up. I had to come home from school. I had to do at least an hour study period, whether I had homework or not. You know,
Homework or not.
it was structured, and I hated it, but I get the benefit.
Absolutely.
I get it, but man,
But it
I
created-
got horror
but it-
stories.
it-
You understand
But
me?
if we hated it, but so we hated it
But
so much.
created the work. It
Did we
created,
put in on our kids?
and it created the work ethic, and it created the discipline for you.
Yeah.
You were never gonna be. The thing about you, all of that work did one thing. It didn't make you slow down. It
No.
made you not lazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's what I was explaining one time. The wife and I was talking, and you know, at the beginning, now the daughter has straight A's now, but in the beginning it wasn't like that. So she used to always say she got a headache, a stomach hurt, and I was like, nah, that didn't work. My parents, even when I really wasn't, because I wasn't known for skipping school. So if I really wasn't feeling well, let's just say I got a headache and throat's kind of sore. My parents still would have me to go to school, and they say, well, if you're still feeling bad by 11 or 12 o'clock, call us and you can come home.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I used to get the perfect attendance all the time because I used to go to school. But then by the time 12 o'clock hit, you know, the sun and heated up and you feeling okay. You know, you pop your
around
med
your friends.
and you okay. So, yeah. And so they didn't allow me to just, oh, my stomach hurt. Oh, well, you can stay at home. Oh, my head hurt. Oh, you can stay at home. Mine didn't do that.
Because
So
in
I
the
don't
real
practice that
world,
here.
that equates to, like you said, you don't go to work. You won't go to work if you got a headache. You know, I ain't gonna say go to work if your blood pressure high. You know,
right. If you about to pass out, no.
You
But
go
just
to the
because
doctor.
you woke up with a little headache. You
But
better
I'm just
take
talking about little, little sinus or little something, you know, allergies or something.
take you two Excedrins and get on out there, you know. So
but there's so many. But you know, for a lot of these kids, both of y'all know that for a lot of these kids, there's no parenting going on. It's either single parent home, and if that parent works anything other than day shift, nobody's going to be with that child all evening. Yeah. So the kid, in most of these cases, the kids that we're seeing having all of this destruction, man, they're just self-raising, man.
Self-raising, but also, Kurt, when mom and dad did have to be away from the home, we were never there by ourselves. Right. They had my aunt TT over there. We had my aunt Carolyn Bay. It was somebody that even if they got an older person that might have been maybe 8, 9 years older than us from up the road, and they paid them to watch us. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't we gonna leave y'all here while we going to work. No, they paid people to come by that house to make sure we didn't tear nothing down, make sure we went to bed on time, make sure they got us up to go to school. You know, and you can't trust nobody like talking about these days. And then even if you could, everybody have their own lives now.
Right.
If Sharon have a date and you know, and like I say, they used to invite their boyfriends and stuff over to the house. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be sneaking and looking. But we don't do that because everybody wants their own. And then they don't want nobody snooping through their, you know, and all that stuff. So it's like, it's just a different time, and everybody don't have time. Because if Sharon trying to hang out and go to the club, she not finna sacrifice or not go to the club to come over there and babysit us. You know,
and even all of those programs, man, they used to be after school programs.
Yeah,
there used to be so many programs that safeguarded that, like the kid matter. And now you can tell that they don't even care if the schools are safe anymore, where they won't even make sure that guns are not getting into school. It's just we live in such a weird time, man. It's so much bureaucracy, man, and so much lack of leadership and care about humanity. It's everything so politically based. It's like even if you got one party that don't care about the other party, so they're not going to support anything that those people in those states.
And it's sad to say, a bunch of grown ass men and women.
Yes.
Grandmamas and
grown.
granddaddies.
Them bastards in their 70s and 80s.
Great grandmamas and great granddaddies.
Thank you. And acting a goddamn fool.
How we here to expect the children to get along with the goddamn grandmama, granddaddy, great grandmama, granddaddy can't get along.
Dude, and then, like I say, it's like they just let them get away with anything. Peep this clip, and then we're gonna talk about another one. Hold on.
Okay. Sweat, motherfucker, that ain't shit. You remember you said you was gonna beat my ass? You remember that? Pull up, motherfucker. Pull up. Yeah, got the AR. Pussy, boy. Pussy. That fucking little Ralph ain't shit, nigga. You dead before you step 1 foot on this yard on my mom.
I don't care if don't go. Guns was unloaded. That one the way to teach them about gun safety. Now, I'm all for teaching my 10-year-old how to shoot.
You need to, but for him to be having,
you better not be careless with my gun like that. And you
he
ain't gonna
have access to that gun unless I'm
right. You ain't gonna be doing all that. That's too much.
But the problem with all of that, they don't even know the seriousness of what they doing right there. They don't understand. Like if something was to happen, they harm somebody, hurt somebody, shoot some accidentally,
or one of them weapons had to accidentally discharge.
Yes, they don't even understand. The mind isn't mature enough to even understand the seriousness.
But you know what?
Of what,
something like you said, and then the internet, this culture of the internet, right? They put that on the internet, and if something happened, they're gonna go back and pull up. Well, you've been holding AR since you was a little boy.
But see, but even the fact that post was allowed. See,
right?
We can't have it one way.
You can't have best of both worlds,
and then expect it not to bite you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, there was a reason that when we used to see the first visions of what we call TV, and you never saw them kissing, or you never saw them naked, or you never saw dresses above the knee, or you never saw
them hugging.
You never saw.
Look, I thought hugging and grinding on each other actual sex, until I was big.
Because they found that they considered that it may have been harmful, right? So now we pushed. I saw one of the most disgusting stories I ever seen today on Hulu called the Caroline Flack story. Now, she was really popular. She became popular, and she became she was doing a lot of shows, like something like The Bachelor. Or she would do all these different shows, and she got very popular, and she had a boyfriend, right? Finally, she found she was rich. She was famous. She lived in London. The boyfriend was only 20 something. She was 40, right? And they were this super couple, right? The tabloids, everybody was just in their business, man. And she messed around, and they had been drinking. They came home late, and she saw his phone sitting there, and she saw it had texts from another woman. And she woke him up, like waving the phone. Who is this? And the phone hit him in the head, right? So he woke up, he called the police, and it became a battery, domestic violence, right? And when they got through prosecuting this woman, it wasn't even a case, man. It wasn't even a case that should have went to court. But when they got through prosecuting this woman, man, when they got through dragging that poor woman through the mud like that, man, saying that she was already kind of she kind of would have these mental lapses, and she had mental health issues, and when she realized that he had called the police, she took something and cut her own wrist. So there was blood all over there.
Now, I seen the preview of that today, actually, and
You
a
need
piece
to
of
watch
it, and I cut it off. But then, like I say, Kurt go in such detail. Now I'm gonna know what happened. But I shouldn't stop you early.
You ain't gonna know what happened till you watch it.
All right, so we go pause. Okay.
I don't know. I like when people tell me everything.
What I'm saying is, the reason I brought that up because social media have such an influence on people, man. Even
like
when
that
something's
lady.
not real, people will jump on board with it and treat it like it's real when it ain't even real.
Right.
And that same thing is the same thing that has the impact on your kid. So if you ain't
what about
involved
the kids that beat up the lady?
Yeah, that's what. And you know what, y'all? That's what I was tripping on because I was like, we did this topic. I put the topic up the other day, and then yesterday, this went viral, and I was like, that hit on the head. Let's see. Here it is, right here. I have it. You seen it, Kurt?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, hold on. I think this is it right here. Hold on.
Smash that bitch on my brother. Hey, fool, let my homie go. Let my motherfucking homie go. Let my motherfucking yeah.
A pregnant mother and her 9-year-old son were surrounded and attacked by a group of kids on the street. The surveillance footage from Chicago's South Side is now going viral across the internet. At the time, the mother was simply picking her son up from school and walking home. But at an intersection, a crowd of kids suddenly surrounded them. The situation spiraled out of control instantly. The mother tried to protect her child, but she was grabbed from behind, pulled to the ground, and then attacked by the group. She was pregnant and extremely vulnerable. Her son was terrified, crying and begging for help. Yet the kids only became more aggressive. Why were these children acting with such boldness and cruelty? And why did no nearby adults step in to stop it? According to the family, the 9-year-old boy had already been bullied at school for months. The mother called the police multiple times, reported the issue to the school again and again, yet all her pleas were dismissed or ignored. But the question remains, why does it take a video going viral before anyone takes action? What do you think about this?
We need to decide how we going to let CPS policies continue to fail our children. To every little kid who has a parent who allowed this to happen, I'm not saying that the parents need to go to jail. I'm not. What I'm saying is, they need to be held accountable. What I'm saying is, if you don't hold your kids accountable, we will.
Black.
Yes, sir.
Send that to me, Reed, right now, please. That's
Man, I swear before
Yeah,
that lady had sickle cell.
That's so
The lady had sickle cell. And she, if you know anything about sickle cell, you know she had all her life. She's been in pain all her life. And so she's sick. And she ain't had no strength in it, but I swear I would have chokehold me, grabbed me one by the hair. I would have chokehold, I would have got me one. But Corey Holcomb said we in a point in age and day and time where the kids can get it. The kids can get it. We used to protect the kids. We used to, like he said, you could be with your mama and everybody.
Go back out, Robin, and come back
with your mama. That's me. You said me?
Nuh-uh. I was telling Robin. Robin. Somebody was backstage trying to come in, and it wasn't letting them in.
Who was that in the top right-hand corner? Is that Aunt? Who's that right up at the top right hand corner?
That's the podcast.
Oh no, and she off today.
Okay. Well, every
she's not feeling well. So one of our panel members not feeling well tonight. So prayers go out to Anthony. Hope you feel better.
I mean,
some of these Wednesdays, man, I have date night with my girl because I don't get to see her that much. So we was watching a movie up until that's why I was a little late.
No, you good.
We had dinner and a movie
just trying
tonight.
to send you this video right quick.
Yeah.
And then George having technical issues. He just said,
I think I am too, though.
Okay.
It's the wind blowing in Memphis or something.
That is so sick, man. That's just...
Yeah.
And that's crazy. The kids can get it now.
I mean, they need to get it.
But you know what we used to have.
Where they come from, Kirk?
See,
who fault is that?
But see, we used to have they weren't called security guards, but they were like guards at the school who were monitor each station when kids got out, and they didn't allow those type of gangs
following that lady and her kids. They walking home.
We had people who you only had 4 doors that you could go out of. And those guards, we'd have about 8 people on post. And those people
come in now, Robin. Go ahead.
Those people would make sure there was nothing going on coming outside the school. They had to get far away from the school ground if something happened.
And I think they were in Chicago, so why wouldn't Chicago have that? You know?
I don't know. That used to be a thing, man.
You know, the schools here that my kids go to, especially the high school, they have officers there 24/7.
Right.
And you know, they have detectors for when they walk in. Like Monday, it was a sign up saying all the students had to take their laptops out, you know, before they enter the building. So they're on it, you know. But for those kids acting like that, we can say social media. I'm gonna have to blame parents.
Did you see them? The ones that came on social media with their parents.
Yeah, trying to apologize and looking.
You mean to tell me not one strong, confident male model that was in that area, not one man.
Not even one of the kids said, "Hey, we ain't gonna hit this man, mama in front."
Hey, I'm not gonna allow. Y'all not gonna do this. See, we've gotten away. We've gotten away from empathy, and it's not my business. I ain't finna put myself in that. Cause that little kid's brother or cousin.
I'm not gonna put myself in harm's way, like talking about when AJ and her man arguing. I ain't got nothing to do with that because I don't know what she'd have done. I don't want him thinking I'm messing with her. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Unless now if he beating her down or striking her, I might go over there and say, hold up now, you know, because I didn't have to do that before. I was like, hold up now, you know, and I mean my motto, if you have to beat her, you don't need her. And I grabbed this guy not too long ago. And like I said, he not my friend, I guess, today, because I grabbed him in front of his wife because he was striking her and I wouldn't let him get away. I was holding, let me go, man, let me go. I was like, nah, you need to calm down, you know, He couldn't get away from me. So he felt, I guess, intimidated or something, because he was like, you know, he couldn't get away from that grip, you know. And we don't speak today. He ain't said nothing to me since I restrained him from hitting his wife. But if it's domestic, I don't really get involved too much in that unless he's super striking her and say, hey man, you ain't got to do that, you know, is it that serious? Then man, and then he just keep doing it, and I see she really needs help, because some women like to get beat on that make them feel like the man love them, you know. So I kind of I'm mixed on that. But children are a group of people jumping on helpless people. Oh, I'm in that all day. And so, like, and shout out another silence for the family in Bastrop that lost a guy at the townhouse, and then they went and burnt the townhouse down. The deal with that whole situation is a bunch of teens, I'm gonna say 18 to 24, that go to the townhouse. I used to DJ the club. When an altercation amongst them break out in there, I stop the music. And if they keep on fighting, I jump out. Even if the security there and they can't handle everybody, I jump off the DJ booth and I'm grabbing people and moving them out of the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the gym, I'm doing my shit. So I just walk through there, I'm grabbing them. Then one time I done that though, these two girls were fighting. And the guy who was by him, he's like the door guy at the club. He was trying to stop him, but then he ended up getting stabbed in the hand or whatever, in the arm. And he said, oh, and he moved back because one of his limbs was messed up and his finger couldn't move. But I didn't know that. All I know is he just went back and that girl was steady stabbing, trying to, kill this girl. She had broke a bottle and was stabbing the girl with the bottle. I stopped the music. I seen that. And when I saw the guy move from them, I jumped up trying to save the girl because I knew her. And I went around her and grabbed her to try to save her. And the girl stabbed me in my hand. I'm talking about all the way to the white meat. And had to go to the emergency room and stuff. But when they see things like that going on, the new crowd, which is why that guy was unalive and why they have so many fights, people are minding their own business now. Where I jump out the DJ booth and help security. The other one's still playing music. That's them over there. And he watching the crowd of the few that's still dancing.
Yeah.
And so people have gotten to where they stay out of business, out of people's business. But to see something like that, I would have had to have done something, directly to the one who was hitting the woman. The ones who was hitting the woman, they would have had to hit me too, because I would have been blocking them. And I just couldn't see that going down.
That's what got me. The one girl who hit her first. That's the child who interview I saw. And I'm like, and then it's like
I'm sorry.
One of the people said, imagine getting beat the fuck up and your attacker gets a pep talk.
And it's lack of discipline. I blame CPS too. No, I don't. No, I don't. I blame the parents who afraid to discipline them kids because of CPS. My thing is this: what my mom used to say, you can call them motherfuckers if you want to.
That was my mom.
Move in with them. Leave this house. You call them motherfuckers, you're gonna leave with them.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then you have to sit there and think, do I want to go to foster home? Or do I want to stay here, eat, go to school, play?
The new kids like shit. I'm take my chances then. Fuck it.
Yeah, the new ones. But yeah, so and then you get people who say an ass whooping with a belt. Oh, that was slavery. That's act of slavery is how they beat the slaves, and they carried it on to our people of color, adapted that from the slaves, and that it traumatized them when they became adults. Okay. I didn't get traumatized from ass whoopings because I knew what I was doing wrong.
Right.
I was brought up to be held accountable for my actions, and I understood that for every action there's a reaction and there's consequences and repercussions if you do certain things.
Yeah, you bought a lot of them ass whoopings. You bought them.
I bought them, and I owned up to them. If I got caught, I was like, well, shit, I did. I'm saying it is what it is.
I was the same way, D.
Thank you. Because I sit there and I think, if I leave here and I go across town when they told me not to go across town, if I leave here, or if I stay over here at this girl's house and they told me to be home before dark, but I'm trying to play like I'm all this and that, and I'd have met the family, so I want to stay over there at 9 o'clock, knowing I'm supposed to be at home at 7. When I stepped in that door, right when I'm on my street going home, I knew when I got to that door, man, you might as well get ready. You finna get that ass towed up.
90% of the ass whoopings you and I got was something we was already pre-warned about.
Yeah.
When did y'all stop getting whooped?
Shit, I probably got my last whooping when I was about 17.
16, 17, 16. I'm gonna say 16. And
because at about 17, I started, hey, them ass whoopings. I was
ready to fight though.
My last one, my mama hit me over the shoulder with a mop handle. And I ain't talking about the mop handles they got now.
You talking about the back
of
the day,
big wood.
I'm talking about that shit look like that pine wood, boy. Woo, man, that not stayed on my shoulder for months, man.
But Kurt, you was a big boy, so she had to do
that. hey, it got cussed out while I was getting my ass whooped.
Man, the last one I got, and I ran away. The last one I got, and I went to Austin's house. But the last one I got, I was we don't supposed to eat in our rooms, and so what had happened was they went grocery shopping, and when they went grocery shopping, I figured they was gonna be gone. It was a Friday, because on Fridays, no, I think it was a Thursday, because that's something about the meal checks or something on a Thursday, I think. So they went grocery shopping. They ordered us pizza. We always would get pizza on them days, Johnny's Pizza. And I don't know what happened. I guess I had a long day at school or something, but I didn't want to sit in the kitchen and eat. They gone. So man, I got the pizza, and my parents we couldn't sit on the bed.
Yeah.
We had desks and chairs in our room. If you get in the bed, they wanted you to take a shower and get in the bed. You know, you couldn't sit on your bed. That was a no-no. You make the bed before you go to school. When you get home, the only time you touch that bed again is that you get in it to lay down. And when you lay down, you took your bath. So I still wanted to go places and hang out. But this particular day, it was around 6 o'clock. The pizza guy came, dropped the pizza off or whatever. And man, I took the pizza in the room, and I don't know, man. I was drinking my soda in the room. Wasn't supposed to eat or nothing in the room. And then I laid down on the goddamn bed and dozed off. And so I'm on this the last ass whooping I got. And I was laying in the bed. Man, I don't know how I went to sleep, but I was sleeping good. With the pizza box still on my desk, soda in there. And I think I had my shoes on too. I didn't even take my damn shoes off.
Getting that ass whooped, didn't even know. You woke up, didn't even know what was happening.
He had a fan belt from the car, the black fan belt. And man, when he started striking me with that thing, and you wake up, your heart thumping, your eyes big as saucers, and you couldn't do nothing. And he was a big man, and you couldn't do nothing. And so I was so shocked because I hadn't had a whipping since probably 13, and here it was 17. I probably was 12 or something, my last one. He just came in there with that damn fan belt from the car. Dude, I ran away from home, and I went and stayed with Austin for a week or two. So I was staying with him and his grandpa with his grandma. I was wearing his shoes because I just left the house because I was like, I'm like 16.
Come get you over there because my brother ran away. My brother tried that shit, and then they called the police. And she told the police, she said, "I'm gonna beat his ass as soon as I see him. And if y'all get away, I'm gonna fuck y'all up." That's what she told the police. She said, "Yes, I'm gonna whip his ass."
They waited till I came home, and I think Boys in the Hood had just came out. And when I showed up at the house, I guess because I was eating his I think they ended up talking to my folks, his folks, because I was there, and it was like what we gonna do with him, because you know I'm an extra mouth to feed now. And I think they ended up talking somehow, and they brought me back home. They took me home that Friday. Boys in the Hood had just came out, and when I made it there, all of them, the family was dressed up, getting in the car, ready to go see Boys in the Hood. And so, needless to say, it was a quiet ride to the movies and things. But I eventually calmed down and got back to my senses. But yeah, I just feel like I didn't get traumatized. And I hear a lot of people on here when they talk about, you know, they adapting this, don't whip your kids and all that. It's a way to whip your kids. We're not saying beat them or hit them across the back the way Kirk got laid out. Kirk was a big man.
For every little thing. Now they want to whoop them for every little thing now.
Well, and the kids ain't, I mean, the parents not whipping them for every little thing. The parents ain't doing shit.
I'm talking about these little bitty babies. You see them with them little bitty babies, they whooping them under 5-year-old ass.
Well, terrible too, you know. But it's a way.
What happened, there was some severe abuse cases that got publicized. Because once you start publicizing stuff and it becomes in the news, and you know, there was some kids that had, you know,
some kids are really getting abused.
Yeah, they came out with the shaking brains, you know.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Shaking kid syndrome, where you shake the kid. And so because kids were dying, man, hospitals start having to report this abuse. It was no longer you take the kid to the doctor because the kid's so beat up. So that's where a lot of the involvement started. The government got involved because kids were actually dying. Some people, they get drunk, they get angry with the kid, and they just take it out on the kid because their life is going through shit. And so
a lot of them don't even be drunk, Kirk. They have mental health issues that they not attending to.
Yeah,
and
all of those things. And so that's the point I'm making. It becomes, okay, we got to set a different standard.
Mm-hmm.
Since we can't control which parents gonna do the right, which parents gonna do the right thing, we just stop everybody from beating their kids. And that's why that got implemented. But they don't. It's funny, they don't do that same thing when it comes to alcohol or guns, right? Because that same thing, you asking everybody to be responsible, right? Well, you set these guidelines, but people are always gonna be, there's always gonna be a human factor. There's always gonna be somebody that abused the system. I don't care how much of safety nets you put in the shit, people gonna always push the limit. They say you can have 2 drinks, somebody gonna drink 4. You know what I'm saying? It's just by nature, man is so self-destructive. A lot of these communities, a lot of these areas, man, we know damn well we don't want our kids growing there. We don't want no parts of that shit. We feel like it should be policed, but who the police don't even want to police those areas. You know what I'm saying? Because now they gotta behave in a manner that they think they dealing with animals. They're not gonna look at those people in the proper perspective, right? So they're gonna say them just animals anyway. So they're gonna treat them like animals. So he even risked his life and his job by policing them. Who gonna say, hey, 55th and King Drive? Oh, I'll take that area. Even though that's what he signed up for. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
He gonna sit on the outskirts of that area all day. Soon as he sees something pop off, he gonna be the last one to get there. The shit gonna be done happen, and you know the culprit's gonna be done got away. You know what I'm saying? Because I can remember a time in Chicago, man, Well, I didn't walk home from school and didn't see a police within that 6-block radius. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But in all of these videos, there is no rescue. How is that? If you got, say, 2,000 police, right? What are they all doing? Writing tickets?
They gonna write tickets and they looking for drug dealers.
So nobody's policing though, right?
Nobody's policing. Nobody's solving murders. None of that.
Exactly.
They out there. But I just say, ass whoopers work if they were done right.
We need to bring back whooping our kids' asses. Now, hold on. Hear me out. Hear me out. Because I know y'all heard that. Y'all like, Chris. Hear me out. If y'all look at a lot of the stuff that's going on, particularly me in my city, I live in Philadelphia. A lot of the stuff that's happening is happening by what they call these YNs, young. So, in theory, I guess my son would be about that group because he's 19. The way my son would never own a poo shiesty, the way my son would never be walking around with a gun or a knife, because I whoop my kids' asses. Like, that's what I don't understand that. The way my daughter would not be 18 years old getting dressed for the prom and 7 months pregnant because I whoop her ass. I just need y'all to understand that. Gentle parenting, I'm going to whoop your ass. And then I'm going to, explain why I whooped your ass. That's as gentle as it could be. Or I'm going to holler first. And then I'm going to whoop your ass. That's as gentle as I can be. All it is, please sit down. Please stop. Please don't call me a bitch. Please don't go out and rob the 7-Eleven. We got to change the way we parent. We got to bring back them good old down south, southern, go outside and get me a switch ass whoopings, okay? I promise you, 99.99999% of the problems that we have in this world will go away because it starts at home. Y'all not whooping y'all kids' asses because y'all scared of y'all kids. Y'all not whooping y'all kids' asses because y'all worried about going to sleep and your kid blowing your head off. We need to bring back ass whippings, okay? That's what I'm running my platform on all 2025. Bring back those ass whippings.
But she right though. Some kids will unalive their parents. What about the kids who unalive their parents for taking away their cell phone, for taking away the PS5?
You know why? They
ain't gonna just run away. They gonna unalive you.
You know why?
Cause they ain't whooped
their ass.
Why
they doing that?
Cause they won't whooping their ass.
They didn't get their ass whooped when they was 3 or 4 years old.
Hold on. I believe in whooping ass, just not under 5. Because the time I don't work for a 5-year-old.
They didn't get their ass whooped when they were 5.
I don't give a fuck what you tell me. I work with babies. I love babies, and I keep anybody baby right here today. And I ain't gotta touch them. I ain't gotta whoop their ass. I ain't even gotta threaten to whoop their ass. I make them stop.
And with that,
time out. We'll work for under 5-year-old.
No. I didn't say under 5. I say 5 and up, or whenever they deserve an ass whooping when they of age and they understand. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be whooping on the 3-year-olds. Now the 3-year-olds don't know no fuck about.
Yeah, they don't know nothing. I ain't say that. I said the word that came out my mouth was 5. If you just want to go word for word,
I go with you.
I said 5. But
come on in, D Black.
You have to discipline those kids, and when I say discipline, it ain't necessarily putting no belt in their ass because all kids don't react, don't
respond to that. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so
my mom used to talk to me and put the shame and fear of God in me, and I'd be so hurt and crying.
Right.
And, oh my God.
And so and ass whooping should always be the first result. Around here, we talk to you. We tell you about, hey, we need you to keep your room clean. We need you to turn the TV off. We need you to go to bed at a certain time. We want you to wash the dishes at a certain time. So we talk. Second time, she don't do the dishes or not doing what was said. We talk again. Third time, we take things. But the daughter is so nonchalant. She has my mentality. I don't give a fuck. As long as I'm able to eat, you ain't putting your hands on me. I'm able to eat.
Right. I'm good, baby. Fuck you and your rules.
You can take everything from me. I can do this shit all day.
I don't need nothing. I don't need no TV, no iPad, no iPhone, no AirPod, no nothing.
You're walking the room
No.
and I go, what you doing today? Nothing. What about you? You know, I don't care.
Hey,
You know,
that shit
Right.
piss you off, don't it, D?
hey,
Nah,
you know,
that'll
but
rough as
now
tough
that's
as girl.
when the ass whoopings come in. Okay. And then when they of age, because she's 15, gonna be 16
They'll square up with
in
you
a
when they
couple of
get
weeks.
that age. They
Now
want
it's
to try
time
to square up with you.
that's what it's turned to that because the mama like, you think I'm playing, you think you
Let me
this and
take my
that. So
earrings off. Yeah.
yeah.
Let me show you
You
what
know,
an ad whooping
you
look
see
like.
mama clipping them nails off. I'm like, uh-oh, what she done? You know. So
Let me go get my all white together. I'm gonna go
now,
to jail.
now the youngest son, you can just look at him and say something. And I done got to where I used to yell at him and curse him out, you know. I don't even do that no more. And I found myself saying about 5-6 years ago, I used to always say, I really think I like who I'm becoming because I handle things totally different now. And when they do something and I hear them and the mama fussing, then they want to run in there to me and try to get a side. I'd be so calm with it. I'm just like the Godfather. I just sit here and I say, well, what did you do? Then you shouldn't have done that. Do that again,
Black?
you're gonna whoop your ass.
You know what
You do that
happened
again,
too?
and she come to me again and say you done it again, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And I just
But
be
you
so
know-
calm, and then they
but
go
you
on. But if I'm yelling, because the oldest son, the other son, if you yell at him, you know he freaks out. So I had to explain to the
As the
household.
Bible say, a gentle tongue turns away wrath.
I say, if you could tell him to go to hell and kiss your ass and say it so calm, and he'll just listen to you. But if you say, go to hell and kiss me, oh, it's a big problem. But you can say the same thing, but it's how you say it. So it's ways to discipline, but every now and then you're gonna get that child that deserves that ass whooping. If they do something over the edge, like they don't supposed to be in the kitchen cooking.
Deliberately disrespect you.
Deliberately
Deliberately disobey
disrespectful. We
you.
say
Disobey you.
don't cook in the house. We go up the road, forget something at the house. We come back and they up in here frying steak. No.
Oh God, you say don't have no people.
And you come
over
back
here.
home and you see people jumping out the house, running up the road. No. That's ass whooping time. That's like wherever the fuck we going, we finna pause that and let me go up in here.
Right, I ain't
and
even going
regulate.
no more.
I'm gonna still go because they ain't finna kill my fun. But
yeah, that's
I'm finna go up in here
that's
and regulate.
because-
But we got cameras everywhere, so we don't
But
have
see, I
that.
thought I could leave them once they got 15 and 16 and stuff like that age. You would think, no, you can't leave them at home at that age either.
Yeah, I'm getting
You
them.
cannot.
Yeah,
You cannot leave them at home alone at that age either, Lord Jesus.
Yeah, we got
and it's all about teaching the kid to respect not only himself, but respect his parents. You know, and once they start caring about, once they lose respect for you, that's what's happening to a lot of these people. The parent don't have no respect for them, man. None at all. So they look at their parents just like everybody else. There was a case that just went by, just on last week, where the sentencing phase of the kid, this guy adopted the kid, man. Gave the kid a chance, wanted to see the kid have a chance at life, man, and he murdered both of them.
You know what? And then the wife always hollering about, she see all these people hollering about some doggone adopting. Ain't nothing coming in this house that ain't come from my seed.
Because you don't know what behavioral problems the kid.
Exactly. We are not doing no damn adopting. I feel sorry for you. Make sure you go to the food drive. I may give you a coat. But,
yeah.
Look at that.
They can't come to the house. We ain't gonna adopt nothing.
We just live in some sad times, man, and all we could do is.
See, my bleeding heart got me into a situation sort of like that, thinking that I could bring along a child up alongside my children, but that child was just a cancer. Simple and plain.
Created a lot of problems in your household, huh?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be
and
nice no more.
Somebody that you done loved on as you treated them as your child. When we went out to eat, you went out to eat. You know? When we went to church, we went to church. You know, ain't nothing I never did for it. I made sure, you know, and you feed them and you do that and you thinking you got, and all along you for, it's like, how can you forsake your own children trying to help somebody else? And my bleeding heart has got me in that predicament on more than one occasion. Put it like that. With both of my children, all three of them. You understand?
Yeah.
The boys and the girls.
I don't
could
do
have lost your kids behind that. And meaning what I mean by lost them, they could have like, mama, you know, I ain't dealing with you no more. You bringing these crazy ass kids up in here. You know.
Yeah.
So they know, man.
I don't do people. But like I say, many of us, like I said, the Gen Y, Gen X, a lot of us now, because of the CPS laws and not wanting to do to the child what mom and daddy did to us, now all of a sudden we traumatized. You know what I'm saying? Now Kirk got hit across his back with that big, thick janitor fucking mop handle. You know, he ain't traumatized because he know what the hell he did, and he remember that ass whooping because he know what he did that day, and it put an impact in his head to know not to do what he did again. Same thing with me and the eating. I don't even eat in my room. I don't even eat in the room today. Even the wife be like, "We gonna eat upstairs." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna eat down here." Now we used to couldn't sit in the living room. Now we'll get a dinner tray and I eat in the living room and watch television. But she'll tell you today, I don't eat in the bedroom. That she do it all damn day. That's just not something I do. And then I have a chair in my room, a big chair, one of them extra large chairs. I would sit in that I used to, but I don't even do that no more. I eat downstairs and in my office in here. But I don't eat in the bed. I don't eat in the bedroom. And it's not because I'm traumatized. You know, I just know that what I did was wrong. So the ones who saying they traumatized, I think they're looking for a reason. I don't know. Everybody's different. Some kids are weaker than others. So where you were traumatized, I understood I fucked up and I got my ass whooped behind it. That's the difference. And they always explained to me why I was getting ass whooping before I got it.
Right.
It wasn't one of those, this gonna hurt me more than hurt you type deals. But
and
it was
sometimes after you got the explanation all over again.
Yeah,
I had to whip your ass because I love you.
And when you did something so crazy, they want to tell everybody. So when the aunt called and when Big Mama called, let me tell you what he did.
Then sometimes you got another ass whooping.
Yeah. So no, he didn't. You know, so it's like I understood. So no, I didn't get traumatized from ass whoopings. And so when mine do something out of the ordinary, I get them. Like the son. He just now learning, like I said last week, he done learned how to lie. Okay. 10 years old, and he learned how to lie. And so he just sit there and he'll sit right beside me and just be running my just lying his ass up. So I was like, he went, I got the sister, his sister's selling candy and stuff, you know, at school, chips, candy and stuff. So I'm teaching her to be an entrepreneur. So she got her little chip machine, candy and juices and stuff, things going at school, making pretty good money. And he decides he wants to go in her room and get the Takis, get him some juices, get some candy, and just eating up her food, just eating it up. Okay.
Yeah.
So then eating up her snacks that she sells. And so now I can, you know, it's a difference because she's spending her hard-earned money to go to the store, the BJ's or Sam's, to re-up, and then she go to school and sell it. He going in there just getting chips out the chips and juice out the juice. So she was like, I had 8 Takis and now it's only 3 in there, or I had 4 juices and now it's 1 left. And so I was like, so what he's doing, he wait till everybody go to sleep. And like I told y'all, we don't have a lock on her door and we have cameras. So he know her door don't lock. So he gets up in the middle of the night when everybody's asleep go in there, get his snacks, and ease on back, in his room, and he'd be eating. So every now and then, we would catch a bag of chips on his nightstand because we don't eat in the rooms because that's a rule because of my trauma. We don't eat in the rooms. It has to be a very special occasion for them to eat in the rooms. So he just and the mom just had some of those Oreo cookie ice cream things that she bought the other day from Sam's. I saw that on his desk Monday, and they know we don't touch her stuff because a woman, when y'all stuff is y'all stuff is y'all stuff. You know what I'm saying? Men will say, "Hey, you got such and such." Next time, ask me for it. Mama be ready with bags, okay, and take things. And so I looked under his bed when she came in there complaining about her snacks being missing. Looked under his bed, and there go the snacks. There go, he didn't hit them. So when he came in the room, I called him in. I say, she missing candy. She missing some juices. Oh, I ain't touched them. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do it.
Lying tonight.
Right there. But I didn't do it. Trying to get the little sad face. I said, look, dude.
No.
I say, look, dude, you know how I handle
the manipulation starts early, don't it?
Yeah. I say, that little sad ass look shit do not work on me. I say, go look under your bed. Huh? I said, go look under your bed. I say, huh? He say, sucker. We try to teach him, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, now. Go look under your bed.
That's another thing that we didn't do. We did not make them say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Well,
yes, sir, no, sir.
And so he looked under the bed. I made him clean off from under the bed. I say, clean everything off from under your bed. So when he cleaned everything out, I walked in there. I say, what's that? What's that? What's that? I'm pointing at all the stuff he'd been eating the last 3 days out of her room. He getting a chip a night, a juice a night. And so what I did, I had to do something.
You owe her some money.
And the young shit, she looking for me to replace it. But
he better let him work it out. Go chip juice your ass up there to the elementary school.
You give me some. Hey, I might just do that because he be wanting money for Robux. I'm gonna make him work. Okay, thank you. Okay, so what I did, because that's the youngest, that's the son, that's my heart. You know what I'm saying?
That's my boy. That's my boy.
That's my boy. That's my brother. And so I said, I gotta teach him though.
Yeah.
And so I went in the room because when she was telling me and he was lying, I got upset.
It's leaf season too. Let me stop. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to keep cutting you off. I'm coming with ideas now. It's leaf season too. He can start breaking leaves, cutting grass.
Okay. So what I did, when she told me, I got so upset. I said, God damn it, fuck, bring me the belt. Bring me the belt. I'm tired of this because he's been lying. He's been doing this and that, And I got the belt out. I already had it rolled up. So he's sitting there lying. I made him clean his room up. I walked in there and I showed him out. And I say, you know what? I hate a liar. I say, I despise a liar. I say, and you beginning to turn into someone I despise, and he don't want to hit it. I say, and you're going to F around, and you ain't going to get nothing for Christmas because he wants this gaming computer and all that, the white see-through computer with the lights.
Where you learning this lying behavior? Because here's what he's testing. He's trying to test his boundaries. He's trying to see, my friends in school getting away with this and that at home. Let me see what I can get away with.
Exactly. And the wife been telling me he acted a certain type of way, but I don't see it because I'm up here. And she's down there working with him in school, on the school work. So she interacting with him a little bit more through the week. And so I had the belt and I was like, you've been lying. And now you eating her stuff, you lied. I said, I gotta get him. And so I said, you act like you don't remember or know what an ass whooping is. I said, I tell you what. I said, hold your hand out. He said, sir. I said, hold your hand out. So he held his hand out and I went, whop, real hard. I mean, I'm purpose, whop. And he was, grabbing his hand and trying to hold it in. I said, now, let me see your other hand. I said, I'm just going to show you what it feels like. So by this time, it's hell to get that second hand. I said, come on now. I ain't got time. I ain't got all day to play with you. Hold your hand out. He held that hand out finally. I said, because if you don't hold the hand out, I'm going to end up hitting your side or something. I said, just hold your hand out. So he held his hand out. Wow. And this time it was harder than the first lick. Man, that joke. And the daughter started laughing at him. And he really felt bad. Next thing I know, I leave out the room. I go back in there. He was asleep. That ass, them two licks put his ass to sleep.
Yeah.
So now he know. And guess what? He ended up putting the chips back in her room. And then I keep candy in here when I'm just in the office doing stuff. I have little snacks, you know, in here that I
Is
snack
that the
on.
hard or the soft sweet tarts?
Beat the soft.
Well, you
I
my
like
friend,
the hard
then.
too. And
I don't like them.
yeah, man, the
They
hard
are. They are.
but I keep
But I ain't gonna buy
playing.
no big bag of them.
I keep putting snacks in here, but this is the one he stole.
Oh, he stole your snacks now.
Yeah. He
gonna
went
get
and
your
got
you
me.
will.
And you know, like when I'm in here working
spy.
and it's late at night, I get me a handful of these, you know, and just chew them and keep working.
Yeah, them John spy.
Next
That's
thing
some
you know,
nerdy puff.
next thing you know, that was Saturday when I popped him, and he went to bed early on a Saturday, you know. So Sunday when I came in here, my candy was back, her snacks was back in her room. So now I have, this is the first week of a good son. He ain't lied this week. He actually
all
been
of
back
me
on
had
track.
in his book, all of me had in his book bag and in the closet. He done put all that.
He put all our stuff back because I was
Yeah,
like,
because he had a stash of his own. And see, that's all he wants is his stash of his own. So he needs to figure out a way for him to earn that.
Hey, D Black, I'm gonna tell you another tactic I use to make my kids tell me the truth without ever having to go through a whole lot. I tell them about who I am and how I am. I say, one thing about me. Before I even start asking a question or investigating anything, just need to know I done did all my homework.
Yeah.
I done already did all my homework.
That's me.
And I said, I already know the answers, but I just want to see what
that's
answer.
That's how my parents did me. They already knew the answer before they asked me.
I just want to see what answer you gonna give me.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but just know, I done did my homework, and I can't stand a fucking liar. And see, once I start right there, soon
they
as
tell
I
you
say
everything.
Hey, they spilling because they know. They know. Even if I don't know, they don't know I don't know. So you got to be real good, man. You can't let a kid outthink you, man. You got to be sharp, man. And you gotta get out of the.
I love you too, cousin. That's my little cousin. See, this is my little cousin right here. I don't mean to cut you off, but that young man right there. When I say he been preaching since he was a young man, he been preaching since he was a young man, and it's like he's the oldest, and he's trying to make an example. Cause like I said, like the lady said, I got a family full of boys. I'm the dad's side of the family. Mm-hmm. My uncles had boys. And so I ain't got but nephews. So yeah, I got some YN. Well, we ain't raised no YNs over here. But you know, hey, shit happens. You could try your best. That's what I say. You could do your best with your child. Raise him up in the way that you think he should go. And try to instill everything that you, and when they grown, they're gonna do what they want to do.
They're gonna do what they want.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to give y'all this one more thing that's very important, man, and it's equally as important. You got to give them proper praise, man.
Yes. You can't always hop on them for all the bad shit.
Hey, they get plenty of rewards and praise around here. Sometimes I think too much because the wife always giving them praises with my money that I don't know about.
No, that ain't what I'm talking about.
If they don't get enough positive strokes, man, they just won't. They just.
They're not motivated. You're not motivated to do right.
The girl being told she's beautiful, so that she don't fall for every local joker that tell her, "Ooh, you cute."
All I do is wrong. All I ever do is shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah. We practice that. That's very important around here.
Mm-hmm. You got to, and it's like, man. Mm-hmm.
Let them know they kings. Let them know they gonna be leaders, man. You have to
let them know that they represent your family.
Feel that shit in them,
And this ain't how we roll.
And the girls that's on here twerking and the guys that's on here with the FU fingers and showing the guns, they don't have no family and respect. But hold up.
Hey, do we need to bring the belt back into our parenting? Like, do we need to start whooping our kids again? Because the common thing I'm seeing with the generation coming up is that they lack respect. Like, they don't respect nobody. What happened to respecting your elders, respecting women, respecting children? You know, these kids nowadays, they don't care. And I get it, respect is earned, not given. But damn, some of these kids don't even respect their parents. Like me personally, I don't have to whoop my daughter. You know, I can simply just give her that look, talk in a stern tone to get my point across. You know, I don't have to whoop her. But I swear there's some kids out here that need whooped. Like, I've never seen so many kids at the grocery store acting up, crying, throwing temper tantrums. Like, do you remember when we were young and we did that shit? Our mom would take us to the bathroom and wear our ass out and tell us when we go back out there, we better not be acting a fool. You know, these kids, they live like they have no consequences. You know, we knew growing up that if we were out acting up in school, wherever, and our parents heard about it, that there was consequences. You know, we were going to get a whooping, we were going to get grounded, whatever it was. But nowadays with this soft parenting, man, people act like they can't say nothing to their kids. You know, they act like they can't discipline them.
Nothing to look forward to, man. See, kids don't even value living these days, man. They're not young kids not even afraid to die, man. Like literally not afraid to die.
I think that's because the parent is not in their lives or is not hands-on with their upbringing.
All right. So if there's no greater value, no greater picture to be shooting for, then you know what's left for them. They ain't got nothing to shoot for. Understand? They like.
I mean, and you could blame the economy to a degree. You can blame lack of jobs, but the families who had parents that didn't make that much money, they didn't have much. The families came together back then and they did the best with what they had. Today it's like
in the projects. Do you understand me? I grew up in one of the roughest, tough projects in Memphis. But you know what my mama did? My mama taught me the difference between a dinner fork and a salad fork. I know the difference between a salsa and a salad spoon, a salsa plate and a salad plate, a soup spoon and a regular spoon. I know what side the water go on. See, my mama took time to teach me shit, expose me to shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of them not doing that, and then they say we don't have the funds for that, you know. And so,
how is it when I know several places right now where you can show your EBT card and you can go and take a museum field trip with your kids for free? Dang. But you don't want to do that. You don't want to take that time out. You busy doing what? Scrolling?
No, right?
But what happens when you see the kid who, just say he come from a single parent home, and his mom doing the best she can, right? Now he on the fence. He wants to go to school. He wants to do the right thing, but then everybody else in the neighborhood
around him,
he see them hanging out on the block, right? He see them with wads of cash. He see them smoking weed and getting high, and he looking at his life, and nobody, you know, he's struggling in school. He's getting bullied at school. He's got all of this going on, right? And he's got one or two people that see they got an opportunity if they bring him into their culture, bring him into what they're doing. That's going to be attracted to him, even though we know better that that's the worst thing. He
believe that's how my sons were so susceptible to game, because the father was absent. But I did try to put, and I thank God for my village though, like the Pee Wee coach and the other Pee Wee coach. I mean, all those grown men who took time out their day, Monday through Thursday in the evening, to coach my son and everybody else's son, and then games all day long on Saturday. Those men, I thank God for my village.
But now those guys are scared to coach. They're scared.
Yeah, they don't even want to coach no more.
Because you know these
parents have changed as well.
These young people or get so upset will try to put hands on them because their son's not good enough to play or any.
Yeah, because you won't even play them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just I don't know, man. I don't. It's to the point where, from a large perspective, I don't have an answer other than to keep trying to reach the people you can reach.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. My mama didn't whoop me a whole lot, but I had creative punishments. You know, that in the long run, baby, I was almost 400 pounds, could step in some heels because I used to have to walk with books on my head. And the worse I did, the more books I had to carry. And fuck around and drop them. Then I got the ass whooped.
But AJ, you in your 40s now?
Yeah.
Okay, so look at the area you grew up in, though. See, you know, you.
But like I was telling Black, we the parents now.
Yes. But the people that's the problem. From me, from what I'm seeing, what we just watched is the 15. Those kids, none of those kids are over 15 years old, were they?
Yeah, them kids look like they were like
all on middle school, in elementary school, middle and elementary. So, 8th grade, I think, the highest.
So that level of violence is just a disrespect for anybody that's
upbringing.
Authority. Period.
You wouldn't even say nothing to somebody if they were walking with their mama. You have to get them on by themselves. You wouldn't say nothing to them if they were with their mama, man.
But we've just lost control at every level. The police is not involved. You got very few programs that are involved, and then you got a lot of people, they don't want to get involved because of the consequences of them getting involved.
That's me with with the mentoring and stuff. I don't care to do it.
You ain't finna risk, trying to hero 4 or 5 kids because one of them kids finna act a damn fool, and you got a family to protect.
And they'll come back shoot your house up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just
it's a terrible time right now, man. And it's a
terrible time, man.
It's gonna take, I don't know. Hold up. Now that's a good old fashioned ass whooping right there. That's that good old. Now that happened to me one time.
That's that old school whoop your ass.
That's that old school. I was in there playing my favorite game, Dig Dug, and I got that Dig Dug stand-up game in the loft right now. That was my favorite game. And I got and my name was Fly on all. I had all the credits. I think Clifford Caldwell started trying to come in and he started erasing my flies because he was on that machine. But I remember I stole a bunch of quarters from Dad, and Mom, I snuck away from the house because she was taking a nap. So I snuck from the house and went to the store and started playing Dig Dug.
I remember
you. I'm in there just playing. I'm probably a good hour and something in it. And next thing I know, she walked in that store. I was playing that game, and I looked up and saw the lady who was in the store, rest her soul, old Sharon. She was she tried to get my attention, but I'm in that game.
You were locked in, wasn't you?
I was locked in. Dig Dug, you got to blow it up. So I'm in there blowing him up. I'm just doing it. And man, Mama came in there with that belt, waka, 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 and I'm running all over that store, knocking down tissue, cherry chans, hot, what was it, red hots. I'm knocking all them things down, trying to get out that store. Sharon was like, I ain't finna jump behind that counter. So when Mama finally got out the way, I dashed out that door and was gone. But I knew I had to go home. But I think I hid out. I think I went over Big Mama house for a couple of hours till Mama calmed down, and then I ended up going back home. So that was that. that good old fashioned, like that girl say, down south ass whooping when you playing the video games. They whip you in the store. Now, my partner Joe Lee, I talked to him a month or so ago. His grandmama came to school and whipped him when we was in elementary, and I brought that up to him. And he said, man, you remember that? I said, yeah. He said, man, I still think about that ass whooping. He said, to this day, and she been dead and gone. And he said, I still think about that because he sassed her before he left home. And I think she told him, don't wear something, and he wore it anyway and came to school. That boy grandmama walked to that school with a belt just to whip his ass in front of the class. And I was one of the kids. I could see something happen one time and knew I didn't have to do that. But you got a lot of the new generation. We could tell them, if you do this, this is the consequences. You do this, this is what's going to happen. They don't care. They want to see themselves. That was back then.
They want to learn from that. I want to make my own mistakes. Maybe you can learn a lot from others' mistakes.
I didn't need that. I see you fuck up and your consequences. When my sister messed up and she got her ass whipping, I knew that ain't what I wanted.
Smash that bitch on my brother. Hey, fool, let my homie go.
Do you let your kids cuss in front of you? No, I don't.
And you say all them kids is under?
They middle school or elementary. Her children are elementary. And
I thought a little boy, but I thought it was more like high school kids jumping on.
I think 8th grade is the highest grade.
Smash that bitch on my brother. Hey, fool, let my homie go. Let my motherfucking homie go. Let my motherfucking yeah.
A pregnant mother and her 9-year-old son were surrounded and attacked by a group of kids on the street. The surveillance footage from Chicago's South Side is now going viral across the internet. At the time, the mother was simply picking her son up from school and walking home. But at an intersection, a crowd of kids suddenly surrounded them. The situation spiraled out of control instantly. The mother tried to protect her child, but she was grabbed from behind, pulled to the ground, and then attacked by the group. She was pregnant and extremely vulnerable. Her son was terrified, crying and begging for help. Yet the kids only became more aggressive. Why were these children acting with such boldness and cruelty? And why did no nearby adult step in to stop it?
Okay, I had to rewatch it because I thought those were high school kids, some of them. But when I looked at it, the one in the yellow coat, yeah, he looked like he might have been 8, 9, 10 years old. So,
yeah,
she should have had some mace though, y'all. On the cool. You in Chicago. My girl, we here.
Who knew you had to protect yourself from the fucking kids like that?
Dude, the wife don't leave home without something in the car.
Yeah.
She don't go into the grocery store, especially when the sun start going down. So after 6 o'clock, when she go in the grocery store, she have a little mace patch on her. I mean, we live in those times. So her walk, but I get what you're saying. You're not expecting no kid, but it also noted that her kid was being bullied, and she called the police, and she called the school. So if I had to do all of that, I would have been one of the parents, one of them. I wish you would. I wish they would.
I would have got me one of them. I would have got me one.
Yeah, I would have had it. The one who threw my son down, the one who threw that boy down on that damn road. I don't give a damn. Sickle cell, Mickle cell.
No, you must have seen the beginning when the little girl just sprung on her out of nowhere.
She could sue that.
That's
school.
The one.
She probably gonna get the school and the school and the police because she called up and complained.
Follow up.
Yeah, the school district, the school district failed to do anything about the bullying. For 2 years, she complained.
They dressed it up under the rug, so they finna get some money, and I'm glad that, and I will be following.
But they moved. I've heard that they moved them out of that neighborhood. They've elevated them, and so now, of course, now everybody, I need to get my ass. Now you don't know what that lady got to go through. She already got sickle cell.
And was they homeless, squatting or something?
No, they just live in a project.
Because I heard about another.
And so they feel like. Now, they don't even live there no more because of this.
I'm thinking they were squatting.
Blessed. You thought so?
I think so. Even though I like the jacket, that little boy had on a nice jacket. I don't know whether his dad bought it for him, but that jacket he had on. But and then my thing is why he wasn't fighting back.
Some kids don't fight back. My granddaughter's like that, man. I be trying to teach her how to square up now, though. My granddaughter's like that. She won't fight back.
I got videos of mine when he was 3 years old. Wait, he 10 now. When he was 7 years old, he hitting that boxing bag. I got a big old boxing bag hanging in the garage. He get on that, and then he also be playing that boxing game through the VR, and he be sweating and he be wearing him out, but he be doing his thing. So you got to teach them kids self-defense now. And like I told him when he started going to the elementary schools here, and he would get into it with 1 or 2 kids, and I'll be like, you live in an evil world. I said, they're going to say stuff about you. They're going to find stuff to talk. I said, I hate that you're going through this particular time, but it's some evil ass kids out there. It's some evil kids out there now, buddy. They out there. But the parents are not doing nothing. So if any of them jump crazy and touch one of mine, it's up. Now check what this guy say, y'all. What y'all think about this? Peep this one out.
Do you let your kids cuss in front of you?
No, I don't.
Do you let your kids cuss in front of you?
Hell no.
Do you let your kids cuss in front of you?
No.
As your brother,
yes,
you're living in a state of delusion because you literally are doing the same thing your parents did to you. You've been conditioned, and you know your kids are doing the same thing you're doing. And so most parents are not the people their kids go to when they're in need, because there's all of these micro fake things that we put up around ourselves. So when I'm really struggling, I'm not coming to you because I can't be real. And I don't know if the Black community is ready to have these conversations, because a lot of times we perpetuate what actually causes the trauma in our families. Those are the things that we do that are religious. Like we say that's bad, but then cussing at our wife is not. The Bible says train a child in the way they should go, so when they get old, they won't depart from it. It's not just what you say, though. It is what you do. You're training them both ways. So if you're teaching your children or teaching anybody, hey, you can do this, just don't do it around me. What I'm saying is, if you don't do it around your mama, but you do it around everybody else, you're a faker. You are learning and practicing being different people.
I agree with that. That is true, though.
To me, that's
even with me, when I watch kids, I have to tell them quick, hey, you do that at home, then don't do this shit over here.
Yeah, he say if you do that like that, you being fake.
But what he's saying is, if just say you said your kid don't cuss around you, and you don't want your kid to cuss around you, but you cuss around other people, and you cuss around other
in
people.
front of your kid.
No. He said they do it in front of other people.
Oh, the kid.
The kid. Yeah. He say you'll tell your kid don't curse around me, but it's okay for them to go, be
somebody
in
else
the
in the street
and curse.
Right.
I can feel that.
So you perpetuating two things. You saying it instead of telling me that don't do it at all, you telling them just don't do it around me.
Right.
Just
right. But that goes back to
if you can't do it around me, don't do it at all.
Exactly.
That's one way, but in reality, we already know, like AJ say, we can bring them up the right way and they still gonna do what they're gonna do anyway. So what you tell them, and so like I say, I saw it different, because it's respect to not do it around me. I know,
but it's also respect to not do it around nobody else grown too, though.
Once you grown, and
I'm talking about kids, because that's a whole nother different conversation when they grown.
Okay, so So with kids, I don't think many people preach to their kids, go out there and do what you do and don't do it around me. He kind of lost.
I don't think they preach that. I think they preach don't cuss around me, but knowing damn full well when they drop their kids off, they be cussing around other grown folks. That's what he's saying.
Right. So he kind of, when he lost me was when he said, you tell them it's okay to do it. I don't think a parent tells no kid it's okay for you to curse around the name.
Telling them.
Yeah,
I think what he's saying is, my kid, your kid ain't gonna come to you because they can't be real with you when they really struggling. That's why, you know, we know kids are unaliving themselves and we didn't even know it was an issue. I felt that part. Now maybe I need to hear it again, see what you say.
Let's see what he said again. Hold on, because he lost me. I was with him until it sounds like he's trying to justify, just like the child who parents let him smoke weed with them at 16 years old. It seems like, you know, and then the parent who say, well, they might as well smoke weed with me because they're gonna smoke it anyway, so they might as well smoke it with me.
But what if they outside in the backyard with their friends and the parent don't know they out there smoking?
I'd rather not know you smoking and catch you doing it than me letting my 16-year-old or 15 or 14-year-old son smoke weed with me. We're not doing it.
That's contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Well, even if it ain't, I just
that's a
don't
whole
feel,
charge, though.
Until you're grown, well, it's your own child, your own household, your own yard, your own, you know, your house.
That's still the delinquency of a minor, baby.
But until I just feel like, even, you know, I ain't finna smoke weed with my kid. I'm sorry, I'm not.
I smoke with my grown kids. Yes. Yes.
But let's see what he says.
Do you let your kids cuss in front of you?
No, I don't.
Do you let your kids cuss in front of you?
Hell no.
Do you let your kids cuss in front of you?
No.
As your brother,
yes,
you're living in a state of delusion because you literally are doing the same thing your parents did to you. You've been conditioned, and you know your kids are doing the same thing you're doing. And so most parents are not the people their kids go to when they're in need, because there's all of these micro fake things that we put up around ourselves. So when I'm really struggling, I'm not coming to you because I can't be real. And I don't know if the Black community is ready to have these conversations, because a lot of times we perpetuate what actually causes the trauma in our families. Those are the things that we do that are religious. Like we say that's bad, but then cussing at our wife is not. The Bible says train a child in the way they should go, so when they get old, they won't depart from it. It's not just what you say, though, it is what you do. You're training them both ways. So if you're teaching your children or teaching anybody, hey, you can do this, just don't do it around me. What I'm saying is, if you don't do it around your mama, but you do it around everybody else, you're a faker. You are learning and practicing being different people.
I'm like Anthony. He said a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff
he was here and there,
didn't make sense.
He was here and there.
Yeah. It seemed like he's just trying to justify that he's able to do
a whole lot of stuff up that wasn't necessarily relative either.
Right.
Because one didn't have nothing to do with the other.
There you go. Yeah. So, and this is how I feel about that. Like you say, AJ, once they're grown, it's okay. So you let your kids curse in front of you?
The grown ones, they've cursed in front of me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Here's the conversation now. I believe, now that I have grown kids, that once your child reaches and going in adulthood, not talking about 18, 19. I'm talking them like 20, 21, 22. That at the teens, there is a certain level of, okay, you got to respect that they're grown. Not that you older than me. Not that you my fucking equal, because you'll never be my equal, you see. But you do have to start to get to know them on a level of their grown person, who they are. That grown person, not that child under you.
They can't curse at my kids can curse with me. They can't curse at me.
Right. That's what I'm saying, then. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, you ain't gonna call me no bitch as a hoe. We got a problem.
It's gonna be a level,
you know, but you know, we talk about the game. Damn, that bitch was cold. Hell yeah, that bitch was cold.
Yeah. Like they might say, man, Pops, you see that shit? That's nothing wrong.
Yeah,
that shit.
Now feel like this is and my thing is this, because to me it's a level of respect. When I go around my parents and my people, especially the aunts, the ones who raised me, the ones who disciplined me, the ones who chastised me or whatever, there's a level of respect. I'm not gonna be, now I might say, I don't even like saying damn around them, but
the same way with my aunts.
I don't,
but I'm not that auntie.
I'm not gonna say fuck and you know and stuff like that around my parents or my peers, because it's just a level of respect that I have from the way I was raised. Respect the elders type deal. So I don't particularly curse. Every time I go around my parents, I turn like 16 again. And so I just don't do that out of level of respect. And I don't think to do that because of the respect that I have for my not that it's wrong that anybody else do it. I just don't. Yeah, I don't do that. And I'm doing my kids like that too. We don't curse in front of them. That's disrespectful. Now, when I'm with the homies or when they with their friends and you know, they doing it and they of age, but when they come around me, I'm respecting a certain level of respect. Don't come in here saying, walking out the from outside, say, man, fuck that bitch. Hey, you ain't finna say that around me. You know, I just don't, cause I don't do it. So I don't mind doing nothing I don't do. You know what I'm saying? So they don't.
I believe that as you get older, you start to know your children as an adult. You got to respect that they're grown, and you start not necessarily become buddies, but buddies in a sense with your kids.
Yeah, we buddies. We just ain't gonna be disrespectful.
You know?
I love
it. Ain't disrespectful. We sitting here watching the game, and like, damn, that shit cold. And my son say that. I ain't tripping. I call my son say, damn, this shit was cold. I'm not gonna trip.
Yeah, I mean that to a degree is cool. That to a degree is cool. Shit.
Even if we talking about sex and he fucking, I know my son fucking. He on his second baby.
Oh, that's cool. But I don't care for you just talking to me like you talking to you cursing. You know, you just foul mouth. Because I'm not foul mouth. So I'm not.
I get what you're saying.
You know, but like I said, I respect your level.
If I hear my son
that's just never
on the phone or he cussing or he talking, if he over there. And he let's say he outside. Cause that's usually what they do. Cause if they inside, you know, that mama be listening or something they say, and I'm in that conversation. Okay, anyway, I'm nosy. I'm a mama. So let's say he outside and I hear him cursing somebody out. And then when he come back in here, he telling me what happened. And he may be cussing. I'm not gonna trip.
See, for me, my parents have that's never been an issue for them. And so for me, it's never been an issue for my kids. If
I agree with Lotus, we don't have to use those words to get our point across.
If I should offend one of my children or if they should offend me, we having a relationship strong enough to say, hey man, I appreciate you didn't do that around me.
Right.
And that would be the end of that. So
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And that's the type of conversation that we have. We bridge anything. We don't like there's no hidden messages or no under the table type shit. I give them full authority and of being an adult to ask me literally anything about anything.
Right.
I don't sit back and say, well, oh man, I can't tell you about my past, or I can't tell you why I did.
Well, man, I was an angel and
do that type.
Right.
So
yeah, that's the communication that we have. They're able to talk to me about any and everything, but you're just not gonna be disrespectful. The daughter wouldn't even when she's the oldest in the house, she's not gonna do or say nothing because we teaching her there's a level of respect. But like I said, that don't mean the way anybody else is doing it is wrong. Right. Just like this little saying used to be, for me in my house, we would serve the Lord. For me in this house, we ain't finna do no excessive cursing. Like if I was to let the daughter just curse, or anybody over here, even if it's grown kid, and I got a 10-year-old in there and he hear them cursing, he gonna want to curse. So we have to. It's just certain rules and things that we have to do with the situation of the house.
Well, you know, you wonder.
I ain't tripping over cursing, but
like
look, my grown kid ain't gonna be running in and out, and I got a mound here. You ain't gonna be coming. It's a curfew for you. You ain't gonna be having no people over here. You ain't gonna be fucking in my house. It's other rules that I'm gonna institute when I got a grown kid and a mind in the house. And that last thing I'm worried about is what you cursing.
But see, Black might be under the guy under the fact that, like, if you that loose with me and I'm your parent, what are you doing around other grown people? What are you doing around other people?
That and the fact that I don't do it. I respect my people. So I'm not going to go around my brother that I told you about in Arkansas and just be, I mean, he used to chastise me. Now I would with him. I would with him because
then dude is right, because then you are creating a culture where they won't do it in front of you, but they'll do it behind your back.
When they grown, I could care less what the hell they do behind my back.
I'm talking about children and grown. Let's separate both.
Let's separate the two. Like you say all the time. At the end of the day, a kid gonna do what they gonna do anyway.
A child under a certain age ain't gonna curse with me. You better not slip up curse.
No, we talking about my. Let's talk about my 15 finna be 16-year-old, and I know her friends at school. I know her friends at school curse up a storm, and she probably cursed the hell out with them.
Yeah, that's fine. You do that over there with them.
But she's not gonna be cursing in this house around me. Period.
Yeah, because she should.
So when you, like I say, when you grown and you want to do that, that's fine. Because every now and then, like I said, I turn 16 when I get around my folks. But every now and then something may slip. But if mine might be like, damn, or something like that. But I ain't finna sit here and say, man, fuck that shit. I don't talk like that around my parents, yo. I just don't. And like I said, I don't knock nobody, but it's just how I was raised and the respect. Big Mama taught us respect. So I just don't do it. And the fact that I don't do it, I don't care for
is that what that dude is calling the fakers?
But see, that's just
his words. He call it the fakers. I call it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what you trying to. Is that what it's saying? That's what he's saying.
I don't care how he see it. That's his. I don't knock nobody's ideas or how they do. I say we're on here saying, well, we're not going to do, and there's no right or wrong way. You say, you may say apple. I say apple.
No.
You might say vegetable. I say vegetables. So
if that dude is talking about on that video. Mm-hmm. If he's talking about grown children versus minor children, you think. But I think we're talking about. I think on that video he's talking about little kids, right? Minors.
Yeah, he didn't specify. But me as a grown adult, I don't curse around the people that reared me. I just, I don't loosely curse. But like curse, if it's a game, like y'all say, if it's a game and he throw the ball, I might say, damn, if he missed the ball. That's different. Because I do that all the time, and that's just impulse. That's just not me holding a normal conversation. Like, yeah, man, I was out last night, I seen this bad bitch, man. I fuck shit out of. I ain't gonna talk like that around my people, my people that reared me. I just don't do that. I don't do that. I might, if anything, I would alter my words because they still able to talk to me. But just say, hey, I met this fine hottie last night and we smashed.
Look, they're gonna be like, and you had a one night stand, baby.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Yeah, that's called a one night stand. You know what I'm saying? My thing is respect. Like the 10-year-old came home day before yesterday bragging about he had a girlfriend. So we're able to talk, but we just don't do that. I just can't sit up and talk to Pops and be like, yeah, man, I fucked this bitch last night, man. We did this and that, man. I'm going to go get some more hoes. I just can't do that. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? But I don't knock nobody who let them do that because a lot of people, that's their way of bonding with their children. I'm not gonna bond with mine that way. We gonna bond. We gonna take trips. We gonna talk about personal things. We gonna talk about birds and bees, sex, and the latex. We gonna talk about all that. We just not gonna be disrespectful with it. I don't care. But another thing, because I don't curse that much. You know what I'm saying? So I don't do it that much. And when I hear somebody, like sometimes you may get around a friend or something that curse all the time, and then if you're around that person for a couple of days, you may find yourself cursing because they cursing. I never been a person that cursed a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Every blue moon, but that ain't something I do. I don't talk with the curse language. But that's just not something. But I don't knock nobody that does it. And drinking and smoking with them when they grown, and that's what y'all do. That's cool. That's cool because that's what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? They of age, and when I started drinking around Pops now, it felt different. When I first started doing it, it felt weird. But I was had to think to myself, nigga, you grown. You know what I'm saying? And the transition from boy to man was kind of a tough thing for me because of all the respect that I had. I'm able to tell them I'm not doing something now instead of doing what they tell me or what they think I should do. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't think you need to do this and that. And I have to sit there and think, well, this is my life now. So I do get what you're saying with they're grown, But yeah, I'm just not a profanity person, as she put in there. I don't do a whole lot of cursing, so I just don't care to hear. But now this is this lady here. Peep out what she said. I'm more like her. Peep this.
I have a very serious question. As a millennial mom, I do not allow my kids to curse around me. I absolutely believe that they may curse when I'm not around, but I've never heard it. And that's okay. That's how it should be. But when I go to a lot of these schools, I hear so many kids cursing. Now, when I hear it and they're around me, I'm nipping that in the bud. I don't accept that. That's not okay for me. And I don't say it in a disrespectful way. Like a kid will say, oh, shit, or no, hold on. No, please don't say that around me. I'm making sure that I'm respectful when we're working together, but that's not something that I'm okay with. Can you not curse? I say it just like that. And 10 times out of 10, I'm like, oh my God, my bad. I'm so sorry. And they won't do it. But then when I go in certain classrooms, I'm hearing it pop off and I'm looking at the teacher and they're just okay with it. And I have some teachers that are not okay with it. And one said, one adult, he said, I'm Gen Z and I really feel like if they want to express themselves like that. I don't know every Gen Z, Gen X, all of that, Alpha. I think my baby's Alpha, she's 13. But to me, it doesn't matter. Respect is respect. I couldn't even say the word lie. I had to say he was telling a story when I was even a young adult, because that was never okay. And I feel like there should be a level of mutual respect, especially with respecting your elders. That's not okay. I don't even curse around my in-laws. My husband's mom and dad, I feel like I may have let some slip before. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Because that's just what was ingrained in me. That's not okay. Why is that okay for most parents? Are you letting your kids curse at home? Is it the generational thing? I don't like it. I don't like it.
So that's kind of, I ain't as deep as her, but that's kind of where I'm at now. Like I say, the shit, and I might say hell, but it's just certain. I ain't gonna say pussy and dick in front of my parents. I'm not, I might
not say around my dad that I won't say around my mom, but my mom not here anymore. But I got a lot of respect. Like I'll say shit and words like that, but I'm not gonna say certain vulgar words around any adult female.
Right.
My daughter-in-laws, when they come around, when they're around, I don't search certain things I don't say around them. I give them respect.
Right.
But I will say damn and shit or
right.
Like
the common stuff. And when it comes to the vulgar stuff, I hint around. Yeah. Shoot, because we know when you get along, we know what you're gonna be doing. Stuff like that.
Guys than with girls. I mean, that just is to me.
Right. That's what I said. When I'm with the fellas, my brothers is different. And like I say, with dad, we'll joke, but I'm not gonna be comfortable saying, the vulgar stuff even around him. I might say, yeah, we're gonna be doing.
Me and my dad shit talkers because we play a lot of dominoes, so we be going at each other when we
yeah, that's different.
Man,
that's different. That's competitive talking shit.
Yeah.
And But yeah, it's just when you grow up, I guess, under a certain respect boundary, and you took that value from your upbringing, and then, like I said, I don't curse that much. I don't even argue like talking about. So that's just not the type of person, I am. If you hear me cursing somebody and piss me off, or I'm just clowning. I'm in here just, I'm showing out with AJ, and she just said something, and now I'm ready to curse,
On another,
and because we all grown and we all do it. It's just certain things in front of my parents I don't do, but when I'm with my peers, it is who it is. It is what it is.
On another note, I think it was Gail's show. Not Gail's what's called Oprah's friend.
Mm-hmm.
He had a show on recently where there was a guy on there talking about AI and how they've been doing some testing and how AI has already in early stages, some of the models that they've put out there already have found a way to bypass
the commands and do what they want to do.
The kill switch. Yeah, like they said, hey, you tell AI to shut down, or you're gonna unplug it or whatever. It's already found a way to bypass all of that. Already. That's crazy as hell.
So yeah, y'all keep on fucking with this AI.
Yeah.
But yeah, teaching the kids, I don't, and I think that video came from the parents are not teaching the kids respect. Respect is no longer in the schools. Like she said, the guy that's Gen X was saying that, well, I let them do it because they want to express themselves. It's like when we were growing up, you couldn't have your pants sagging. We wore belts. If you seen in Mr. Washington or somebody while you in the hall, you'll pull your pants up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If you seen a group of elderly people coming and you were rapping a curse song or walking down the hall talking shit, cursing, you got quiet when you walked past them. Then when you got far enough away where you figured they couldn't hear you, you start back. That's missing. Because they let them do it at school. You used to get in trouble for cursing. You used to have to write something on the board 100 times if they catch you cursing. They used to threaten to wash your mouth out with soap. None of that stuff goes on today, and the kids just do what they want, say what they want, and there's no consequences. And so that's why they're so disrespectful when they get grown, and feel like they can talk to eventually get disrespectful and talk to the parent anyway. Because I've seen that happen. I know a guy right now who started letting his son get high with him. And the son was probably about 16, I'm gonna say the son maybe was 17 or 18. I think he waited till the son was 18 and let him start smoking with him. Now today, the son talks to the dad like, you ain't no better than me. That eventually turned to a disrespectful, or maybe that son always felt like that, and now that he's grown, he's expressing himself. I don't know.
It eroded the relationship. He was able to see his father in a different light. Once he was able to see his father in the light where he was no longer being a parent, he just saw.
Damn, Kurt. See, it be stuff like this that be fucking my head up on this podcast. Because I'll be thinking one way forever, and then one of y'all will say some shit and it'll kick it. I feel a little light bulb come on in my head. Was like, damn, I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah. He no longer saw his father in the light of a parent anymore. He's just another dude I'm getting high with.
Oh, wow. Because he started treating him different after those incidents when he was getting high.
Absolutely.
And he'll be like, hey, like the dad will say, hey, man, you ain't got nothing, you ain't got no smoke. Then the son will come up with the smoke, they break it down and they smoke it. So I guess he was like, you just another nigga asking me, do I got some weed? I got to be the one who's supplying it. So you start seeing them on a different level.
Absolutely.
So if that's not what you want, don't start it with them.
Don't start it. Don't start. I'm not going to no behavior that I don't want. You know what? If you're gonna, if certain behavior, I'm not gonna do it around you because I don't want to see you doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to lose the type of respect for me. You know that damn. You know, pops just do any damn thing. See, so I always want them to look at me as their father, regardless of whatever it is we doing. I gotta stay pops. You can't never remove that. You can be as tight as you want to be, but you cannot remove that value. That has to stay there. Because the minute you lose that value, man, they have no respect for you. It is super.
Yeah, man, that was deep, man. And that happened a long time ago, because that guy that I'm talking about, he every bit of 40, 42 now. So if he was 18 then and he's 42 now, and he just don't give two shits about his goddamn dad. And I was like, you talk to him and treat him just like a homie. And I didn't know where it came from. So I always just said maybe because he let him start smoking, but I didn't go as deep as him seeing him as a regular nigga now, because I always say, well, that's dad, but maybe he just feel loose around the dad.
So look at it like this. What if the father he overextends himself and he ain't got the paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to the son because the son, the son keeps some weed, right?
Yeah.
Every time he go around, hey man, you got something? Hey man, you got something?
Yeah.
So, like, this nigga leads more than my homies. God
damn. Hey, and the dad started letting the son drive him around while he was messing over the son's mama. Exactly. And the boy is a baby. Ended up, he a mama's boy.
Yeah.
And so I think like you said, he lost respect for the dude. That's what happened. Okay. Because, you figure we grown now. Hey, man, drop me off over here. And them kids will turn on you when you going against the other parent, man. I don't know. I done seen it so many times. They act like they cool with it. And then out of the blue, they just shut down and turn on the parent who was messing around on the other.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. See the allowing the son to get high with him, that was a privilege that he's given because now he winning favors with the kids so he can go and do other shit. So if hey man, I ain't say nothing, I ain't tell your mom we get high together. You know what I'm saying? So right. by allowing you to do certain things, you think you could just, hey man, you ain't gonna say nothing. We cool like that. See, you do certain type of, hey, we cool like that. I ain't not got nothing to worry about. Now he's so comfortable that he'll cheat in front of his goddamn son.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah, so that's hey, bro, that's the level of comfort you don't ever want, man. Because at the end of the day, that's your mama, that's his wife. You get what I'm saying? And
yeah. But hey, women do that all the time though with the daughters.
Yes.
A lot of daughters know every dirty detail that the mama is doing behind the daddy's back.
Right.
Because where you may not let the guy come to the house and watch television with the daughter, when you at work, she allowing it.
Right.
And then they got secrets on each other. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I see that all the time with the daughters. That's why I never thought about it being that way with father and son.
Yeah.
To that level. But I do know a lot of daughters have mama's secrets, and they hang out, they do things together, and they doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? Because the daughter enjoying the gifts and things that she's getting from hanging with the mama. Hey, drop me off over Leroy house and you use the car and go see Brad.
Yeah.
Come back and pick me up and we're going to go to Walmart and probably go to Ross and then go home. And then the dad think they've been out shopping all goddamn day.
Damn, the mom just a low down dirty bitch. Ain't it? Damn, she dirty.
Yeah, they do that. I've seen that, man. I seen the mother and daughter combo. And I'm sure you know somebody that done that too, AJ.
I don't know none about that.
Yeah, you know somebody's daughter that know they secrets with what that woman doing. But yeah, so with the kids, I feel like discipline do need to be implemented more. Not necessarily with a belt, but like I say, some of them, like that guy say, some of them need to be whooped. You see what I'm saying? Some of them need to get that good old fashioned Southern lynching. Because the way them young kids did that lady, they gonna turn out up being murderers in the next 5 to 10 years if don't nobody, do something about it. And if y'all listen to what the that senator or whatever was saying, he basically was saying whoop your kids' ass. Because he say, are we gonna continue to let CPS run our households?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying, and he said, now I'm not saying the mothers need to go to jail. The parents of these kids that did this need to go to jail. He said, but if y'all don't do something, we gonna do something about it. So he basically saying, y'all need to start whooping ass. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Even the Bible was saying whip them kids' ass. But the Bible was written by a white man, and that still was a form of slavery. Yeah, I get it. But ass whoopings kept a lot of us in line. When you thought about being disrespectful, you changed your mind. When you thought about stealing, you changed your mind. When you thought about saying certain things, you didn't want to get knocked in the middle of next week, so you chose to be quiet.
Anything without consequences open the eyes of a honest person. So you could take a person that work at a bank, man, and they as honest as the day is long, and they just will never steal anything, as long as they know that there's consequences.
There you go. There you go.
When you remove consequences from any situation, you turn an honest person, man, into a thief. You got the life has to have consequences, or there's no distinction between right and wrong. There's none. So you have to have a level of consequences, man, and it has to be taught.
And see, I think, Kurt and AJ, with the way the economy is, I brought this up years ago on one of the episodes. When the bills are due, okay, single mom raising child, when that daughter or son have to go out and help bring money into the household to pay bills or pay rent, they feel different too towards that parent. I've seen that in more cases than one. Especially the boy feels like he's man of the house now. So when mom say there's a curfew, shit, I paid the rent. Mm-hmm. I'm the reason the lights are still on. You can't tell me what to do. And then the female the same way. She want to have company now. Well, Sarah is going on 10 o'clock. Company got to leave. Leave for what? I don't want who paid the rent. And then the moms are feeling, the single moms or single parents are feeling vulnerable because it's because of that child that the lights are on. It's because of that child that they're not evicted. So that's where a lot of the disrespect come in also that I have seen. Because they like, you really can't tell me too much to do because hell, I pay rent in here too. And if you allow that, but then you may have that parent like ours would have been. Yeah, nigga, you paid the goddamn rent. This, you just now started paying rent. Who took care of your ass all this time to now? You better sit your ass down and company better be out this house.
Yeah, you 15 years late, nigga.
Thank you. But that's what they doing.
And a dollar short.
The guy that they selling the weed, they selling their little drugs. The girls out there selling their bodies. and they bringing that money in. And a lot of times when that single parent,
wait a minute, not just let's not put that on our kids.
they doing it,
Let's
man.
say the girls are doing hair and lashes.
Okay.
And the boys are cutting hair.
Okay. They mowing yards and raking.
And they washing cars.
They washing cars.
My God,
right.
my God, my God.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Let's put it on a lighter note. The guys out there making an honest living mowing yards. The girls out there doing hair and nails.
And lashes.
And lashes. Yeah. And they and they helping pay them bills. I'm so sorry. They helping pay them bills.
My God.
And so when they helping pay the bills, though, they see that person different. That's why, like, the daughter making hella money now with her sales.
But see, when you get that age and when you feel like that, I don't give a damn what you paying. You ain't paying. It's time to go.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Especially like you say, if they fix their mouth to say something like that, never ask them for nothing else. It's time for them to start looking for their own place. But like I said, the little girl making money now. But I'm not going to ask her for nothing.
But if you build a certain type of relationship with your child,
that type of situation don't come up,
and you see that they see that they're helping you, or that they're helping that household, that
they want to help more.
This is a family situation. They're not gonna look at you that way. They'll look at you, hey, I gotta help my mama, man. My mama been struggling her whole life. You know what I'm saying?
That's a different type of upbringing there. That's that parenting. But we talk about the parents that's not there for that child. The child got raised by the internet and the mama working at ConAgra.
Yeah, but if your mama, you know, taking the rent money and buying weed and getting high, and you know, and then you happen to
or gambling,
you trying to keep the lights on and shit like that, then that child gonna lose respect.
You want this big cookie?
For a while, he'll help for a little while. He be like, man, shit, fuck this shit, mama.
And then you know what? That girl, if it's either one of them, they gonna move in with whoever they going with.
Yeah.
The girl gonna move in with that guy. That the son gonna move in with some woman that already got her Section 8 house.
Well, you know that.
Why she gotta be on Section 8? Well, got her own apartment.
Okay. That happened with your girl. The boxer, the one that you said that ain't the GOAT. You know, her mama had all them kids, man, and you know, Clarissa Shields. So when she went to, you know, start boxing, man, and start coming up, you know, her mama wouldn't even keep food in the house, and then her mama started throwing parties and get a little check and start throwing parties and weed parties and getting high and all of that stuff, you know. And then when Clarissa saw that she was gonna be the dude told her she could be a world champion, he just took her away from that. He just moved her in. He's like, look, you could be something. And he took her from that.
I bet he took her from that, and he was giving her a whole bunch of that.
No, he didn't. He had a wife. He didn't mess with her.
Yeah, but nah, she ugly enough where I can see him not messing with her.
He didn't mess with her.
Yeah, I said I could see him not messing with her.
He had a whole bunch of young kids that he was coaching, and he saw her potential, man. And so he helped her get to the Olympics, man. And so he was just one of them dudes, just happened to be a good dude, man.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that. I feel that.
Oh,
but yeah, they gonna find somewhere else to go once they feel like the parent is taking advantage of them, or if they feel like they can. Because a lot of times when them kids start paying bills, they feel like they can be on their own, doing what they want, because they don't want to be under that roof. But these days, the parents are not preaching that you still under my roof. The kids come in, do what they want, you know, and it's nothing. The parents are not parenting, and they're not disciplined. And that's why I think we're seeing a lot of, like it was an unaliving that happened in Bastrop about a year or two ago. And I know the family. Their kid was out, their 15-year-old son, the unaliving happened around 1 a.m. in the morning on a school night. And so a lot of the comments was up under there was, what the hell was he doing out on a Thursday night at some o'clock in the morning? Any goddamn
right at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And so that's where the
Mama
lack
work
of parents.
overnight.
No, because they say the police went by and told her, that they found him or whatever. She was at the house at 1 o'clock. They had to wake her up. And the dad was there too. So I don't know. My kid ain't gonna be on no goddamn school night coming in at 8 o'clock at night. Unless
What
they
if he snuck out once everybody was asleep?
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Hey man, I gotta pop off, man.
Yeah, we finna shut it down. But yeah, that was the closing. So parents just need to step back up. Not all kids deserve an ass whooping. I need one, but I feel like we do need to get a more grip control of the kids.
We
teach
know
them
when our
respect.
kids getting out of hand.
Yeah, they getting out of hand, and all that timeout is not working. It don't work. It's not working. Them kids in that video timeout that jumped on that damn woman, a timeout ain't gonna do shit for them. That's a special kind of evil to do that to that woman and her kids.
That really look like an environmental issue. That look like that location, man, where that was.
Man, like AJ say, she grew up in the goddamn projects, but she came out respectful. So I feel what you're saying about the environment, but like I said, just because Jimmy John them doing it, that don't mean you finna do this shit in my house.
Yeah, but we've all agreed that it's not the same anymore than 40 years ago.
Shit, why it's not the same? Because I'm raising them now. And what Sharon do, okay.
Yeah, but you ain't raising them in that type of neighborhood.
Well,
you're not, D. Your kids.
I feel what you're saying, but on the same note, we know a lady who letting her kid, her 16-year-old, date a 18-year-old. He comes by, picks her up, go to the movies and all that shit. Mine ain't gonna be doing that.
Absolutely.
She not gonna be doing that.
I'm not disagreeing with you that there's lack of parenting. What I'm saying, that situation we watched, that seemed like an environmental situation. That seemed like the location of where that was.
And that's just their behavior because of that location. So that's why when I said last week, when the kids dress and they button up nice shirts and nice slacks and shiny shoes, and the girls have on dresses, they tend to act better.
Yes.
Than they would if they was coming in there with their wife beaters on and the pants hanging out their ass. They fought. But when they walked in there and they was dressed up nice, we didn't have no problem out of them. They smiling, they spinning around in their shoes. But when they come in there and they Air Force Ones with their pants sagging and a bandana around their neck, they fought.
That said, I can go in this neighborhood and behave like this and ain't nothing gonna happen.
Okay.
That's what that video
showed. And that's who it attracts. And those are the ones who was out there that decided to jump on that woman because they like, hell, ain't shit gonna happen. It is what it is. And we all done went through that in those type, even my bougie ass, then been in the hood and decided to throw a rock and bust out somebody's window because I'm over there with the fellas and this is what we doing. So, okay, I get it.
Anybody could have got it over there. Anybody.
I get it. Yeah. So we'll just say they're a product of their environment. And I don't even think discipline and nothing to help that. It's going to take policing. Some going to jail and seeing reality that doing this shit, I can go to jail to even change that ideology, that thought of doing it.
Black, I'm 63 years old. I grew up in Parkway Gardens. Officially right now known where King Von, they ran that.
Mm-hmm.
Officially O Block. I wouldn't get caught dead right now rolling up in O Block. That's what it's like.
Okay.
And I grew up there. You see what I'm saying? The
Right.
environment is so toxic. Police ain't rolling through there. By the time they get there, everybody already shot up and gone.
Yeah, you know that's happening around here all the time in the A.
Yeah,
But I like to say I'm not sure. And then y'all definitely got it going on down there. AJ, it's something that just happened that's on the news. Something bad just happened down there, man. I don't know whether he unalived the parent or girlfriend or something. Something just happened on some part of Memphis.
At the mall.
Yep, I heard about the mall. They was like, why did? And then I saw the interview, and the guy was like, why would the kid take the weapon in the mall? Yeah, that happened over the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on, but it's always teens and teens and the young adults, the 24 and under. And I don't know what people can say it's something in the air or something in the water. I don't know what the hell it is, but they, like you say, it's probably they feel like they can get away with it.
But you know what though? I think a lot of it was too and is too. We a lot of parents said, well, you 18, you can get out. You grown now. And they've been calling the little dude 16, 17 years old, man in the house and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. OG, man in the house.
But just because you put somebody out at 18, don't mean that they know anything about life.
And so life is just life.
The most guidance.
Yeah. And so life is just life, and they just doing whatever they see on the streets because they got to blend in. You can't be no pussy out there on the streets.
You know, most of the time in our households, if you was in college, you stayed there until you got your shit together, man. You stayed
That's
home.
what my cousin did. But we were wondering why she just never said that girl got so many years in college. It was like, but then when she left, she jumped up and just dashed out, you know, and moved far away. But on that note, y'all,
watch that show Caroline Flack, man. You'll be shocked, man.
Carolina what?
You said it's on Hulu?
Yeah, Hulu. Caroline Flack.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, the commercial popped up on the phone, the advertisement earlier today. And I've seen it, and then I got off of it because I was doing other stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Final thoughts, AJ, on discipline.
I mean, we can't spread a rod with wheels for the child. We just can't abuse them. We gotta find some type of middle ground.
Okay. Damn, AJ sounded all professional. Okay. All right, Kurt, what's your closing remarks on lack of parenting and discipline?
Yeah, I had to use the rod very few times, man, because my voice was able to, you know.
Oh, you look intimidating anyway. Hell, they wasn't gonna mess with your big.
Effective parenting, man, just being involved and explaining, and you know when they
and telling the kids why. I found that if you tell them why, they understand better.
Yeah, you know, getting them to understand that I'm not whooping you just for the sake of whooping you. You know, if it come to where I gotta whoop you, that means you're just being completely disobedient. And that's what if you're gonna be disobedient, that's where the disrespect comes in. Because if I've explained to you 3 or 4 times the same thing, that means you don't want to hear what I'm saying. You're not gonna do what I'm saying. So I gotta teach you that's when the teaching say, hey, I'm not gonna be
this ain't a democracy.
Yes, I'm not gonna be disrespected.
Right.
And so that level has been lost, and the only way we could retrieve it is those families that are doing it. We have to support it. Those kids that are and our grandkids and our kids, we got to keep trying to keep better versions of us. We got all of this knowledge, man. We got all of this stuff inside of here. This stuff that we gonna when we leave, we gonna take it with us. You got to share that. Any information that you can help your kids with, man, all of it. You got to share it because they're gonna raise kids one day too, and they're gonna have to have these conversations. And they need more of what we got now because this is a lost art. People ain't doing that no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody got to still be hands-on parenting. And that's what we came up on. It was hands-on. And so, you know, should the rod be used in the right circumstances? Absolutely.
Mm.
But that voice can carry a long way if you use it right.
And you know what, AJ? Kurt was intimidating because Kurt back then was made up and built up like The Rock. That's why they called him Bo Rockers. So he wasn't going his kids wasn't gonna do too much. And all he could do is just twitch that eye. And they look like he just whooped their ass. And I'm sitting there looking at his face like, nigga, you ain't even touch him. You ain't say shit. But he looked like he about to cry. So they were, you know, and that's why I say with the kids in that respect, they gotta have a little, what we call it, love, fear.
Love, fear. It's got to be
in their heart.
It's got to be there.
Yeah, it has to be there, because if it's not, those are the ones who I've seen jump on their parent. Those are the ones that we seen act up at school, and the teacher would have to get the principal down there and get them spanked with the board. We watched that, but it wasn't no fear. It's such thing as a love fear, because like I always say, in The Godfather, you rather be respected or feared. He said, I'd rather be feared, because with fear comes respect. And so you have that when you're raising your kids, it has to be that love fear, where they respect you enough and fear you enough to respect you. And so the respect is missing out of the home because there's no fear. They like Kurt opened my eyes with the guy and his dad's situation. It's no fear that you just another nigga to me. And that's exactly what came out that boy's mouth one time. He was like, I don't even see why y'all think so high that I'm so crazy about my dad. That nigga ain't shit to me. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And he told a perfect stranger that. I had my cousin with me that didn't know him from Jack, just knew the guy, you know, from me talking about him. And he was like, that dude ain't shit to me about his own dad. But he was a mama's boy too. So I did, you know. But on that note, y'all, we out. And like I say, I believe in putting the belt on at the right time. Never let that be your first resort. If the talking don't work, if the taking things don't work, if the grounding don't work, then it gets to that. And that's not the first thing. And then you have to know how to do it. You don't go in there just beating and whipping them up. But they have to know you mean business. And then still, after you do that, still go to the mall, still go to dinner, still go to lunch.
Then don't hold a grudge.
Yeah,
don't
still, hey, let's go.
And don't hold a grudge. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because when I scalded one of them one time, the son, because that's the one I'm working on, the little lion puppet. I got on his ass, and then we was gonna go and punch on the punching bag. After I got on his ass, he was ready to go into his room. I said, come on. You said we was finna go. You kept hounding me to go to this boxing bag. We finna go punch on the bag. He didn't want to go, but I'm like, no, nigga, you gonna learn when you fuck up. I'm gonna get on your ass, but then we still gonna do what we gonna do. I ain't lost no love for you. I'm just trying to steer you in the right direction. So I'm keeping it real with him. So I'm like, oh boy, mine come and talk to me, but they understand it's just a certain level of respect, and I'm still bullshitting. So you can't bullshit a bullshitter. But on that note, we out to next week. And next week I'm probably gonna talk about. People been hitting me up about young man, older woman, older man, young woman, age difference, relationships. So we're probably gonna touch on a little on that next week, because
next week is the 26th.
Yeah, that week.
That's the day before Thanksgiving. I don't know what I might have going on, so I may or may not be on.
Yeah, that's cool. Like I say, we'll probably be down there cooking or whatever. I'm just gonna come on here for a little hour or so, get the age gap thing out the way, because quite a few people have been hitting me up for that for about 3 months. I've been ignoring it, but lately somebody on the internet just broke with something, and they was like, "Hey, I told you to talk about this." So I'm gonna go ahead and get it out of the way, and that'll be like a little pre-Thanksgiving, special thing. But
watch that on Hulu. It's 2 episodes.
Okay, so it's a series.
Yeah, it's only 2 episodes.
But so it's no more after the 2.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we'll jump on that, because we always be looking for stuff to watch on Thursday nights and Fridays. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We'll do that.
That movie, I think it's on Netflix. It's called Play Dirty. It's not too bad. It's an action movie.
I think I've seen that, but I didn't watch it. That's with the Mark dude in it, right?
Yeah.
And did y'all ever watch AJ? Did y'all ever watch that? What did I call it? Beauty and the Badge? What was it called, Kurt?
I think it was called Beauty and the Badge. I still gotta look for it.
Yeah. What is that on Netflix?
I think so. But it's about the New Orleans, the only lady on death row. She from New Orleans. She was a cop that wasn't supposed to be on there no way. And that's why, and her trial about to come up on the 20th, I think, of December. She's having a trial. And so I want y'all to get on that so we can kind of watch that trial together.
That dude that shot that woman over the pot of water, he was found guilty.
Yeah. We saw that.
Oh, that cop.
Yeah, he was found guilty.
They got a 2nd-degree murder. Okay. That's about what, 10 years?
Yeah, he might do 10 to 15.
Okay. Yeah, that was fine. You just made me sad. Let me get out of here. And on that note, we out. Speak on the podcast, 2K25. Shout out to AJ. We had Lotus. What was your cousin name?
7-4 Runs.
Stanley?
And 7-4 Runs. And Angelique is my cousin.
Okay, yeah, I saw Angelique pop up. That's what I was just going to look for, Angelique. Shout out to Anthony. Hope she feels better. Anthony, hope she feels better. Shout out to Austin. And George was having technical difficulties. He tried to come in. And Robin for trying to come in. So, but yeah. On that note, we out. Speak on the podcast, 2K25. We out. Peace.
What you thinking, man?
I've been in the polyamory love style. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it, because I've always felt that this monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person, or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then
the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, this complicates things for us men, because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we were even thought. Why doesn't my father is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
no, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are like absolutely. So if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
But see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was a run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. You know, at one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman, no matter what their social economical status was. White women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, you know, I know, you know, I mean, you did it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So you
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. You know, it means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. You know, that's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, you know, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, you know. So there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, you know, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband.